What's up, everybody? Getting Twitch up and loaded. And there's Twitch. What's up? How you doing? How you doing, Mike?
The organization that governs Michigan high school athletics has voted to trim the amount of full contact football practice from a maximum of 90 to 30 minutes per week and to drastically reduce the amount of full contact allowed in preseason workouts.
Michigan joins New Jersey as the second state to implement such rules. Some studies show nearly 60% of concussions in high school football happen on the practice field, compared with 4% in the NFL. Previously, Michigan allowed one full contact practice per day in the preseason. Now, teams will get a maximum of 6 hours a week, including scrimmages, before the season starts.
What about when the season
starts? And there are a limited number of tickets available to see the South
Bend
Bills from a rooftop seat tomorrow night.
Do you know why you practice with pads?
Yeah.
So you don't get hurt when you play.
Right. I know.
So when you don't practice actually hitting, you increase the likelihood of injury on the actual field. It is a foolish endeavor to try and prevent concussions.
Weather served up by the Prime Table. Start your morning with the Prime Table styles. This week's breakfast special, biscuits and gravy combos are half off from 6:30 a.m.
It takes time for you to learn how to take hits and give hits without seriously damaging something.
Mostly cloudy for the rest of today with an isolated shower storm possible. Temperature warming up to 71 degrees, but still rather breezy.
There we go. Speed's on Twitch too.
20 miles per hour. For tonight,
Levi, Jeffrey.
43 degrees with cloudy skies to start off the day tomorrow, but then clearing and a high of 55. In the ABC 57 First 40 Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Kennedy.
Right now it's 59 degrees at the 95.3 MNC Studios. I'm Johnson, the News Talk, Michiana's News Channel.
School delays and closings 4 times an hour and instantly online at 953mnc.com. Powered by First Response. From News Talk 95.3 Michiana's News Channel. Your breaking news and weather station.
News powered by C. Kramer Interiors. Elegance and style. Value your home with brands like Stickley, Hancock, Theodore, Alexander, and Hickory White. You're invited to their home. C. Kramer Interiors on University Drive in Granger.
Hey guys, as many of you know, Sunday, May 12th is Mother's Day. So surprise the women in your life who brought you into this world by showing your appreciation for all they do as moms by getting her something from Judy's. I know, you're not sure what to get her. You've tried before, and some of those gifts are still in the closet with the original tags on. Well, the girls at Judy's can help you with that. If she shopped at Judy's before, we've got you covered. If not, just bring a picture of that special woman, and the girls will be able to pick out the perfect gift. And if you just can't seem to agree on what to get her, no worries. A Judy's gift card is the perfect solution. And if you buy that gift card from now until Mother's Day, we'll give you a bonus card. Just buy a gift card for $250, and we'll give you a $50 bonus card. Now that's an offer you can't refuse. Judy's, the best brands for the best you. Stores conveniently located in Granger, LaPorte, and now Valparaiso.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring is prime home buying season, so if you're thinking about buying a home, right now is the time to lock a low rate, which can save you money every month on your new mortgage. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. To lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for J.D. Power Award.
No, I haven't had a chance. I'm dealing with Dan Spalding, who's a local reporter who thinks the gender wage gap is real.
Talk radio that talks with you, not at you. Casey Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3. Michiana's News Channel.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. And you can also send me, I already said you can do the text message thing, right? So you can watch the live stream, youtube.com/Casey the host and twitch.tv/Casey the host. If you'd like to go ahead and actually watch the program and watch what happens during the commercial breaks and engage in the discussion there. Okay, do want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle, Indiana. Second Amendment Arms, again, they have 10 dedicated shooting lanes, rifle and pistol, all indoors, by the way. You can get out of the rain if you want to get out of the rain. And you get 10% off in the store and listener-exclusive discounts on firearms. And when you save half on the range time, I mean, you get to shoot there for a lot less than anywhere else in all of Michiana. So go to secondamendmentarms.net. All right. The showdown is getting ready to start, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in Michigan and you have been wanting your car insurance to go down, it is now you versus the governor. All right. The Republican-led Michigan House early Thursday approved a plan to reduce the state's high auto insurance premiums. The Senate did so the other day, moving to no longer require that drivers buy unlimited medical benefits through their car insurer to cover crash injuries. And in most other states, you pick what levels you get. In Michigan, those no-fault states, you're required to carry 100%. So it's something that causes a tremendous increase in your insurance rates, which is why insurance is so expensive in no-fault states like Michigan. The move set the stage for a potential showdown with Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer. We talked about this yesterday, who threatened to veto separate auto insurance legislation that cleared the GOP-controlled Senate earlier this week. The top House Republican said that he hoped to soon reach a compromise with senators and the governor. The goal here is to get a signature by the governor and deliver rate relief for the people of our state. We're going to have the conversations that are necessary to make that happen. The House bill, which passed 61-49 on a largely party-line vote after 2 a.m., would let motorists forego the mandatory unlimited personal injury protection, which is a requirement only in the state of Michigan. Insurers would have to cut PIP rates for 5 years between 10 and 100%, depending on the coverage chosen, and that could equal an estimated $120 to $1,200 in savings for somebody paying $2,400 annually per car. That is assuming the PIP fee accounts for half of their bill, according to the Republicans' projections. So if you're in the state of Michigan, you're paying $2,400 annually for your car, you could expect to save, depending on how you organize your coverage, you could expect to save $120 to $1,200, okay? And the governor says she'd veto that. She doesn't like it. A recent study showed that Michigan estimated annual premiums of $2,610 is the highest in the country and almost double the national average. It affects the people who live in every one of our communities, and we have been overpaying for decades, and people are demanding a change. That's Representative Jason Wentworth, who is a Republican from Clare. Now, while the House vote was a big step forward, this is the Tribune, by the way, in efforts to cut premiums after years of legislative stalemates, the bill's prospects were uncertain. Majority Republicans have made car insurance changes their top priority, but Whitmer has been more focused early in her term on trying to fix the roads with a proposed fuel tax increase as part of her first budget. Now, again, yesterday we went over that Governor Whitmer let slip that, in fact, the fuel tax increase that she was going to, that she's asking for, she said that she doesn't get that. She'll shut the government down, by the way, and then she'll ask for a ballot initiative that'll actually cost you more. So if she gets the fuel tax, originally what was proposed is that would go in addition to the money that already funds the roads, because it's not enough that we have it funded now. So the money that we have funded right now is not getting the road fixtures done. So the fuel tax would be in addition to all of that, so that everything was supposed to be funded. Well, she let it slip here recently. Now, what she was actually going to do is pull road funds that currently exist and move them to higher education funding. So she's actually going to take funds away from roads after the gas tax hike, and then move the original funds for the roads into education funding for collegiate education, that sort of stuff. And then she's going to use the fuel tax to replace it. So she's not actually increasing road funding, it would seem. Depending on what her final numbers end up looking like, it just seems that she wants to raise taxes so she has more money for other projects. Many of her Democratic allies in the House blasted the insurance legislation and criticized how it was unveiled and approved within a matter of hours and no public review or committee testimony. Okay, again, here's the thing. If you have complaints about it, all right, fine. But is it better than what you have now? And it is. It's a lot better than what you have now. So pass it, then work on amending it, work on sister bills to it, whatever you need to do to go ahead and shore it up. But to sit there and say, no, we're going to continue to let our citizens pay the largest or the highest rates in the entire country for no conceivable reason just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that's the battle that is brewing in Michigan. 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Jamie, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, Casey. How are you doing?
I'm well. What's up?
Well, I was calling to agree with you with the insurance rates in Michigan are just outrageous. I know you live up there. Unfortunately, I'm living in Indiana, and we pay about the $2,500 figure that you referenced. We pay that for 5 cars down here every 6 months. So
yeah,
it's a world of difference.
Well, it's a huge difference. And then when we moved back over onto the Indiana side here last month, I transferred over my insurance so that way they could calculate everything properly at the place that we're staying. And it went down over $150. You know,
wow,
that's
nice.
that's $150 that I don't have to worry about anymore.
Yep, I missed the part that you moved back. I wasn't paying close enough attention.
No, that's okay.
Sorry about that.
But
so
you know,
welcome back.
Well, thank you. But here's the thing. After doing it, because we were going to buy a house in Michigan, that deal fell through. We're staying at a friend's house in Indiana, transfer the insurance over. And after that, you know, I look at my wife and I'm like, I don't know that I want to go back over there and continue to pay these rates. And she was in agreement with that because it's just we were paying more in insurance than we had in payments. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that is outrageous. Yeah, well, there's a lot to be said for Indiana, including Governor Holcomb. So you got that going for you down here now too.
There you go. Although he's got to legalize marijuana.
Yeah,
it's coming, Jamie. It's coming.
Right.
It's coming. All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you much.
Mega.
All right. 574-25-95-95-3. Indiana's going to start licensing some farmers to do some stuff too. It's going to be interesting. Commercial grade stuff, not stuff that you can consume or anything like that. All right. So if our constituents are angry now about their insurance rates, imagine how angry they'll be when they realize that with the bill before us as it stands, their rights and benefits have been given away, and our rates haven't really been lowered. That is Representative Donna Lazinski of Washtenaw County's Skyo Township. Under the measure, people opting out of unlimited medical coverage and instead choosing between $0 and $500,000 in benefits would not have to pay much of what will soon be a $220 annual per vehicle fee that reimburses auto insurers for expenses surpassing $580,000 for the severely injured. The bill would stop car insurers from having to pay much more than private and public health insurers do for the same medical services, a factor driving claim costs. They would follow a fee schedule similar to what exists for workers' compensation injuries. Now, the legislation would also direct state insurance regulators to write rules banning the use of non-driving factors if there is no rational correlation with insurance costs. So again, the legislation also would direct state insurance regulators to write rules banning the use of non-driving factors if there is no rational correlation with insurance losses. That should be something that people think is good. Democrats said the measure is flawed. They contend that a prohibition on the inclusion of credit scores or other non-driving elements in the state setting process would be explicitly written into law, and they said insurers could still hike rates in the long term. The insurance companies got a gift today. How? So basically, you know, the Republican Senate basically said, why is your credit score a factor in your insurance and not your driving score? Why should you pay more for car insurance if you have bad credit? That shouldn't really factor in. And the Democrats are basically contending that it should factor in, which seems strange considering they're supposed to be the party of the little guy, right? Anyway, 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. You got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your
Breaking news and weather station.
Weather served up by the Prime Table in Niles. 25 years of exceptional food, tremendous service, and great people. Visit Prime Table today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Well, I mean, the idea is to make this insurance more like insurance pretty much everywhere else.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms this morning start to become a little bit more
That's the
isolated
idea.
and spotty for this evening, with temperatures warming up to about 70 degrees and breezy conditions out of the south to southwest, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now keep in mind, for tonight we have that cold front moving on through. That will drop our temperatures overnight to 43 degrees, and we only top out at 55 on Friday. We'll start out with cloud cover in the morning, and then clouds start to clear on out. By the evening, we'll see mostly sunny skies. For Saturday, high of 64 degrees, a little bit more of a mix of sun and clouds. We'll have a chance for a shower late in the day, and then for Mother's Day itself, mostly cloudy skies, but still a chance for a couple showers, mainly
What's up, Lou?
in the morning. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ellen Kennedy.
The station to turn to when the weather turns bad.
When severe weather strikes in Michiana, focus on protecting yourself and your family. Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma says each year an average of 1,200 tornadoes come down, 1,500 injuries, and dozens of deaths. Your best defense is staying connected. Text or Twitter alerts from MNC and ABC 57 News. Purchase a NOAA weather radio for your home and make a plan. That way, every member of your family knows where to go in the event of a tornado.
95.3 MNC, your breaking news and weather station.
The days are longer, the sun is poking through the clouds, and before you know it, spring has arrived in exquisite color, warm temperatures, and everything is coming to life. Bite Greenhouses in Niles is open for the season. A proven winner's garden center with over 65,000 square feet of beautiful plants, hanging plant baskets, shrubs, bedding plants, trees, and much more, all in rich colors that almost seem magical. Plants so healthy, easy to embed, and alive with color that your home will always look like the sun is shining on it. Vite Greenhouses is where your beautiful gardens begin, and is a certified proven winners grower retailer. Vite Greenhouses is open and ready to serve you. Go to vitegreenhouses.com and start planting your garden. You'll find plants.
Sounds like somebody's on insurance payroll, huh?
And ornamental trees. Vite Greenhouses in Niles, where your beautiful gardens begin. 2601 Redwood Trail, a quick trip from South Bend, Mishawaka, Elkhart, and Granger. Open for the season and providing beauty for your yard.
Wouldn't it be great to see your windows in a whole new light? Do it right. Call your local neighborhood experts. Budget Blinds. You'll get beautiful style and personalized service for every budget. We bring the showroom right to your home, so you can choose from hundreds.
No, I'm probably not going to talk about the order today. I thought it was an interesting story, but I probably won't talk about it.
With the touch of a button. And with Budget Blinds, we do it all for you. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. There's a reason why Budget Blinds is the #1 provider of custom window coverings in North America. When we say we have style and service for every budget, we really mean it. So let's get your home a whole lot gorgeous. Get your free consultation right at home. Just go online to budgetblinds.com or call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS. Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS for your free consultation right at home. Now that's beautiful. At participating independently owned and operated franchises only. Ask for details.
What do you need done on your house? The basement could be finished. The kitchen needs updating. Your deck is not the way you want it. Or maybe you want an entirely new room added to your home. That's when you call Graber Custom Remodeling. They come to your home with vision and experience that leads to some of the finest projects done in the area. Graber is a family name, and it's put on every project they do. There are no corners to cut. Everything is measured twice. Graber Custom Remodeling works with higher-end vendors, materials, and craftsmen to complete truly custom projects. When you see your mission in your mind and meet with the Graber team, you begin to see what custom really means. Whether you're restoring a 100-year-old farmhouse, creating your ultimate living space, or taking your kitchen to the next level, make it custom and make it a family decision.
I forgot about that whole you can rent a mom thing
Online at
a couple years ago. Exactly, Warren.
Bill's Heating is your local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Here's owner Scott Miller talking about their service agreements.
We offer a prepaid maintenance plan, and what that gets them is priority service. They get discount rates on parts. They're not charged overtime rate. It also gives them a peace of mind knowing that if I have a problem, I call, I'm going to get service that day.
Give Thorough Seating a call today. 574-533-179. Your trusted, local, independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer.
My family's health is important to me, so I choose MHS for quality healthcare we can count on. Plus, I can earn dollar rewards for doing health
Just looking something up.
getting my health screening and taking my kids for regular checkups. MHS helps me stay focused on what matters most, my family. I keep my family healthy, and MHS rewards me. It's all part of my plan.
Visit MHSIndiana.com or call 1-877-647-4848 to learn more.
Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 6s and a complete wrap-up of all of the day's news and sports. First thing in the morning starting at 5. It's Michigan by 3MC.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number, 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. And we are talking about the insurance battle that is happening in Michigan. Now, Gretchen Whitmer, she ran using what some people would call a profane-esque, if you will. I won't call it absolute profanity, but a profane-esque slogan about car insurance. And so now we're sitting here and we're going, okay, she hasn't made it a priority. She ran on it being a priority. She ran on the roads being a priority. Now she's focused on the roads, although she's doing an end around on people. But at the same time, people are wondering about the car insurance thing. And right now, she's in a position where she's saying, no, I'm not going to support this legislation in the Senate. Now, the House legislation is different. So what's going to happen now is the two sides are going to get together in Michigan, and they're going to, pick and choose what they want, and they'll have some kind of a cohesive bill. And hopefully the governor will be able to bite, and it will lower people's rates. That's the idea. Republicans wanted to ban car insurance companies from using your credit score and things like that. Why should they use your credit score? It doesn't make any sense. We're not talking about, being able to buy something and keep it like you are with a credit card or a loan or something of that nature. You have to have the insurance if you are going to legally drive. So you're going to have to maintain it. And everybody knows if you don't maintain it, and you can get ticketed for it. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to use your credit score. It's always been a silly, stupid thing. And so Republicans in the state of Michigan said, we're not going to have that. It doesn't factor into their driving ability, and it doesn't have anything to do with their insurance rates or what they should cost. So why are we going to allow the insurance companies to use that? Now, after the 5-year period of mandated lower premiums, Michigan would scrap a file and use system that lets rate increases take effect before regulatory review. Rates instead would be subject to prior approval. So a bill would also create a task force to target fraud, limit reimbursement for family attendant care, and no longer let insurers use sex as a rating factor when pricing policies issued on a group basis. So you can't use somebody's gender against them either. That's a good thing, right? And so they can't use your credit score against you. You're going to get lower insurance rates. They can't use your gender against you. Because here's the thing. You want to talk about wage gaps and stuff. If you've got a male and a female driver, the exact same age, the same category of car, the same driving experience, and the same number of tickets, demerits, what have you, the woman pays less. Why? Because she's a woman. That's it. Makes no sense. Well, statistically, women are better drivers. Okay, but that doesn't matter. You're comparing these two individuals, and they have the same driving record. They should pay the same rate, right? Come on. Just people make this argument about wages and everything else all the time. You should be making it about insurance and other things and gym memberships and all of that other stuff. And gyms will charge women less because statistically speaking, women pay their gym memberships more than men. And so women get charged less than the men do. Shouldn't you charge the men less so you encourage them to pay their bill more? It's funny. I was just reading an old article that I posted about how nicer employees, friendly employees, get paid less than their more abrasive, jerky coworkers, because the abrasive, jerky coworkers, apparently they're the ones that actually go for higher pay. Go figure. 3 of the 52 Democrats joined all 58 Republicans to vote yes. Reaction from key players in the auto no-fault system was mixed. The Insurance Alliance of Michigan, an industry group, said that the legislation addressed major culprits of a broken system, such as overcharging by medical providers and a lack of consumer choice. That's another thing with the unlimited coverage, is that if something happens because of a car accident, you know it has to be paid, and so the hospitals and stuff like that will charge more money than they're supposed to because they know it'll be reimbursed. But it expressed serious concerns that the House, unlike the Senate, had an arbitrary rate and regulatory mandates. Okay, the Michigan Health and Hospital Association said that the bill stinks, and it urged the legislature to start over. Now, why do you think the Hospital Association would not like something that would prevent the hospitals from overcharging for medical care because the insurance company will pay it because you're required to have unlimited coverage? Why do you think the Hospital Association might be opposed to that? Because they know they're overcharging people. That's why. The Hospital Association is going, oh, wait a minute, if there's a car accident, we can't charge far more than we normally would to treat somebody with those injuries because insurance is going to pay it. And because of the unlimited coverage, it will be paid. So, yeah, of course the Hospital Association is going to oppose that. They're going to lose a lot of money here. Chatfield said that the fact that the insurance and health industries are uncomfortable with parts of the legislation indicates that we have struck an excellent balance. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. If everybody's a little irked by this, then you're probably on the right track, right? Everybody's a little happy. Everybody's a little irked. But again, the Hospital Association, they don't want this because they like being able to overcharge for treatment of people who've been in vehicle accidents. It's really that simple. But like I said, this battle now, if you're on the Michigan side of the border, this battle is now going to be about, okay, what makes it from the House bill? What makes it from the Senate bill? And will the governor go along with it? Because right now she's threatening to veto. So if she does veto, can they overturn her veto? Right now, it doesn't appear that they have the votes to do that. So if you're in Michigan, you're this far away. All right, this far away. So Michigan, to earn me as a potential full-time resident, they had to do a couple of things. One, they had to legalize automatic knives, and they did, but then they went ahead and they restricted fixed blade knives even more. So that was a bit of a wash, okay? And then they had to fix the car insurance bit because it's just too expensive to live in Michigan with car insurance. It's just for my family being a single income family of 4. And I know there's plenty of you out there that are comfortable in Michigan because you make a lot more money than I do. And there's plenty of you that are way worse off than I am who feel the crunch a lot more than I did. So it was enough for us that when we came back across the border, which we hadn't done in over 3 years, that when we came back across the border in Indiana, the financial relief was instantaneous enough for us to go, wow, we're probably not going back. And I actually held on there for a little bit, and I said, let's keep looking at Michigan to buy Michigan because I'm counting on this this insurance thing to get fixed. But I'm impatient now. I don't want to wait for it anymore. MNC News Time is 3:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking.
Can I do the show prep here? Yep, we got to get those thumbs ups moving.
Unfortunately, that we have just wrapped up that topic, sir, but you're welcome to call tomorrow at 5 o'clock during open lines.
You'd think, Speed, it would benefit them to have car insurance rates lower.
And we just wrapped up that topic. Yes. It was a full half hour.
Sports wagering in the Hoosier State
could
begin in September.
But you're just talking about it. I was just talking about it. It's funny when people get mad that they can't get on to talk about something.
investigation is going to be a process.
Not about you. Should have called earlier.
All the residents
Gave you 31 minutes.
was treated for smoke inhalation at a hospital.
31 minutes.
Itself Tuesday morning, causing firefighters to return to the scene. And tomorrow afternoon is the deadline for those who are interested in attending the next Recruit Academy at the Clay Fire Territory. Applicants must be between the ages of 18 and 36 with a high school diploma or GED and cannot have any felony convictions. You can learn more at clayfd.com. And the deadline for applications is tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Edison, U.S. and Chinese negotiators set to resume formal trade talks just hours before President Trump's planned increase in tariffs on Chinese goods.
We were getting very close to a deal, then they started to renegotiate the deal. We can't have that. We can't have that.
The president threatening to increase tariffs on Chinese imports from 10 to 25% tomorrow night. The U.S. seizing a North Korean cargo ship. The Trump administration says it's been shipping coal to North Korea in violation of international.
I believe property taxes are higher in Michigan in general.
Giant Huawei to build its next generation of cellular networks. The U.S. will no longer share intelligence with the U.K.
When it comes to Huawei and ZTE, the United States has been crystal clear. We don't believe you can have those technology in your systems and still have a trusted network.
U.S. officials believe Huawei can spy on users on its networks. This is Fox News.
Weather served up by the Prime Table. Give your mom a real treat. Let Prime Table Restaurant in Niles do the cooking. Large parties welcome. Call and make your reservations for Mother's Day today.
Yeah, he said it's you'd have to take the average because obviously different townships, municipalities are all going to have different rates. But generally speaking, I believe that it is, but I don't know for sure.
Southwest with winds right around 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, temperatures drop. Will be down to 43 degrees with cloudy skies to start out the day tomorrow, but then clearing and a high of 55. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emma Kennedy.
This is Who's Your Ag Today's Thursday closing farm market report. The Chinese are in Washington now as trade talks continue, but the tension is high and markets were pressured all day. Fund selling in the grains pushed markets through important chart support areas. During trade, we saw a rebound off the lows, only for corn and wheat to finish right back near the lows. July corn $3.53 1/4, 11 cents lower. September down a dime and a quarter, $3.62. Beets $3.72 3/4, down 9 1/2. July soybeans $8.12 3/4, losing 14 1/2. August down 14 cents, 8.19 1/2. Nobi $8.35 3/4, off 14 3/4. July wheat $4.29 1/2, 9 1/2 lower. Sep $4.38 1/2, 9 cents down. Cattle futures June up 87 at 111.95, and June lean hogs rebounded $90 even, up $1.45. I'm Andy Eubank. Who's Your Ag Today, Indiana's leading farm network.
The Fox Business Report brought to you by Modern Kitchen, creating your dream living spaces so you can redesign, remodel, and relax. Modern Kitchen on McKinley, east of Ash Road in Elkhart.
Some of the Fox Business Network stocks are falling in the final hour of trading, but offset to lows ahead of U.S.-China trade talks. Tensions between the world's two largest economies have been dragging down stocks all week, with the S&P 500 on track for its worst week of the year. Technology stocks posting the steepest declines today, led by a drop in shares of Apple.
CNS.gov.
And Chevron is bowing out of the bidding to buy.
Oh no, another meme on Discord. Okay, I'll get a chance to look at it here soon.
One of the most high-stakes energy deals in years. Occidental boosting its offer, helped by an investment from Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. Chevron and Occidental are coveting Anadarko's prized assets in the Permian Basin in West Texas and New Mexico, the heart of the U.S. oil boom. If Anadarko breaks its agreement with Chevron, Chevron will walk away with a $1 billion termination fee. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Hillary Barsky.
Mother's Day is this Sunday, and Pro Flowers is offering an amazing special. 1 dozen assorted roses for $19.99. Plus, get double the roses with a premium vase for just $9.99 more. Pick your delivery date and send Mom 1 dozen assorted roses for just $19.99, or double the roses and get a premium glass vase for $9.99 more. To get this amazing deal, hurry to proflowers.com. Click on the microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 5757. Proflowers.com, code 5757.
The Difference with Brian Conybeare.
We want you to make us a part of your routine. We want to be in your living room every single night.
because it matters where you get your news, and we want to bring it to you as truthfully, as fast, and as accurately as possible.
That's the difference on ABC 57 News. Watch Brianne Palmerini with Brian Conybeare and Tom Coons on ABC 57 News at 5, 5:30, 6, and 11, and on the CW25 at 10. See the difference.
Let's see.
On The Big Bang Theory, after 12 seasons of soft kitty, warm kitty, little bubble bird. 12 seasons of Penny, Penny, Penny. 12 seasons of Bazinga. It's
Pleasure.
time to rewind to day one. Leonard, Sheldon. Hi. Starting Monday, May 20th. Watch The Big Bang Theory right from the very beginning.
7 nights a week at 7 on CW25.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Sponsored by Case Legal Media. Attention, this is an important message for anyone that has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers. The Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warned that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Monsanto, the manufacturer of Roundup, may have known that Roundup and other weed killers were likely linked to organ damage and cancer. This information was hidden from the public as proprietary trade secret since 1981, and Monsanto may have failed to warn of the potential risk of cancer. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call us now at 800-715-3913. Our network of attorneys are ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call now for a free consultation at 800-715-3913. You must protect your legal rights. Call 800-715-3913. Again, 800-715-3913.
Nobody beats our prices at Menards, so you can add more light while saving big money. Add style and design to your home with dimmable, vintage-style bulbs from Fight Electric. They're available in 2 styles. Get a 4-pack for just $4.99 each after sale price and mail-in rebate, plus a Menards gift card. It's perfect for Mother's Day. Stop in and save through May 11th at Menards.
What did it say? Thursday? I have Monday off, and I just cannot get my bearings on this.
Patients throughout Michiana improve the appearance and function of their teeth. Now it's your turn. Join me and our staff at Mahoney Family Dentistry for our denture and implant information night, Wednesday, May 15th. You can discover if dentures or implants are the answer to your dental problems. Attend our denture and implant information night at Mahoney Family Dentistry, Wednesday, May 15th. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat right away by visiting MahoneyDDS.com.
Talk radio that talks with you, not at you. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Casey.
All right, here we go. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Let's see. I want to thank our sponsor, which is Second Amendment Arms and Range. You can go to New Carlisle. Of course, they have 10 dedicated shooting lanes, rifle and pistol. But don't forget to ask them about on and off-site training. Whether you're a new shooter or an experienced shooter, they've got a training program for you. Go to secondamendmentarms.net. Casey, is that $150 a month you're saving? Yes. Not a year, a month. It's over $150 a month. Same insurance company, same vehicles, same cars. I already said that. Same coverage is what I meant. $150 a month I am saving by being in Indiana with everything exactly the same as in Michigan, with the exception of I don't have to buy the unlimited coverage. Let's see. What will they do with the MCCA? That is the black hole of Michigan no-fault insurance. Don't know. I don't know. I don't have all of the details on how it would be implemented or all of that stuff. Casey credit score works an advantage for some. It's all about ability to pay. Poor credit equals higher payments. Yes, but it shouldn't be relevant in your insurance. I get what you're trying to say, but again, you have to pay to be able to drive. Whereas if you extend credit to somebody to buy an item, they can keep the item and not pay you. With insurance, there's no loss of good. You are a continuing service. If you don't get paid, the service is not there and you don't lose any value.
the credit score being a benefit for some, yes. However, very few will actually get a benefit from your credit score with your insurance. I talked about this actually a couple of years ago, that people with good credit scores are not actually benefiting all that much, because most people are right around the mid to high sixes. That's where most Americans are. You'll see occasionally some people say that, low sevens is kind of where people are, but that doesn't appear to be the case in most of the research. So mid to high sixes appears to be where most Americans are now. That took a dip after the recession. A lot of Americans went down as a result of the recession and all of the credit dings and everything else. It's starting to climb back up. So you might get to that high sixes, low sevens here pretty soon. But what they were showing is that the average American was getting no benefit from their insurance rates from this. This is a topic I did a while ago on this because of several times. So I'm trying to draw from memory because I don't have it right in front of me. Where the average American was not getting a benefit from the insurance companies. You had to have like plus 800 credit or high sevens to get any slight benefit, and the proportion of benefit that you were getting at the higher end was way less than the negative benefit you were getting at the lower end. So that's where that was coming in. But yeah, I mean, obviously, better score will work to some people's advantage, but ultimately it shouldn't be relevant. You have to have insurance to drive. And your driving record should be important. Somebody with good credit, but a dinged driving record should not pay less than somebody with bad credit and a perfect driving record. All right, 574-25-95, 95.3. That is 2595953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Again, please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Those police officers in Elkhart have now been indicted in federal courts. So formal indictments for a civil rights violation have been filed against two police officers who were on video hitting the handcuffed suspect. United States Attorney for Northern District of Indiana has filed formal indictments for a civil rights violation against Corey Newland and Joshua Titus for their actions in the January 2018 battery of a man in police custody at the Elkhart Police Department. Vicki Elaine Becker, the Elkhart County prosecuting attorney, had previously charged both Newland and Titus in state court, which had been proceeding through the pretrial process. Now, the actions are also now proceeding through the pretrial process in the federal system. So the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Indiana, Thomas Kirsch II, has requested the state of Indiana dismiss its proceedings and allow the federal proceedings to now develop to conclusion. Accordingly, the state is dismissing its pending cases against Newland and Titus, so to not interfere with the federal case nor violate statutory deadlines in the state case. So basically, the federal government is now pursuing those civil rights violations against the two officers, and they have asked the state of Indiana to drop their case. So they have, in order to allow the federal case to go forward. Of course, we'll continue to update you on that as that whole thing plays out. And yeah, it's an ugly case. I mean, it just is. 574-25-95, 95.3. That's 2595953. Don't forget, you can watch the live stream. Go to youtube.com/Casey the host, or you can go to twitch.tv/Casey the host. Subscribe. Click that like button. A lot of people watch, but don't click the like button. I would appreciate it if you click the like button. It really helps me out. And if you're on Twitch, click the follow button, and that way you'll know when I go live, whether I'm doing this, whether I'm gaming, whether I'm 3D printing, or riding the motorcycle. We got more coming up. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
We're on the Weather Watch 24 hours a day on air.
Smartphone with weather text alerts. Sign up at 953mnc.com.
All right.
Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Weather served up by the Prime Table Restaurant in Niles. Does your family or group meet regularly for breakfast,
All right.
lunch, or dinner? Just call the Prime Table to reserve tables for your next gathering.
Now, home comfort experts, your air conditioning professionals' 5-day forecast.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms this morning start to become a little bit more isolated and spotty for this evening. The temperature's warming up to about 70 degrees and breezy conditions out of the south southwest, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now keep in mind, at 4 tonight we have that cold front moving on through. That will drop our temperatures overnight to 43 degrees, and we only top out at 55.
This is a test run to see if I did this right.
By the evening, we'll see mostly sunny skies.
You
For
did.
Saturday, high of 64 degrees, a little bit more of a mix of sun and clouds.
Whomever you are.
Chance for showers late in the day, and then for Mother's Day itself, mostly cloudy skies with still a chance for a couple showers, mainly early in the morning. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ella Kennedy.
The top news stories.
We are holding big pharma
Mhm.
generated $1.2 billion of revenues from the sale of controlled substances.
I do believe that he obstructed justice.
I make them go to court and justify their investigation.
It should be the Boy Scouts. They should be up here issuing
Uh-huh.
their leaders.
That's why today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Oh, come on.
Breaking news and weather station.
Truck owners know the best way to protect their investment and extend the life of their vehicle is with a visit to Z-Bart of South Bend. When top-quality truck accessories are installed by highly trained professionals, that means your ride will look better and last longer than everyone else on the road. Choose from upgrades like tonneau covers, caps, step bars, brush guards, vent visors, floor liners. Need I go on? Bed mats, mud flaps, trailer hitches, toolboxes, roof racks, bed rails, fender flares, rust.
What's up, Tracy? How you doing?
Rhino lining for the bed and the unmatched protection of ceramic Z-Gloss. I think you get the point. Z-Bart of South Bend is your destination for top-quality truck accessories. For years, the most trusted name in vehicle protection has been ensuring your vehicle looks and functions exactly how you want it to. Come on in and customize your ride today. Get the performance you want and the quality you deserve. Z-Bart of South
Where
Bend
is
your
this?
automotive experience and protection experts. Call 574-232-2073 or stop by the showroom at 2627 South Main in South Bend today.
Too many headlines stress delaying Social Security benefits. By the time you realize you could end up giving 20 to 30% of your benefit back to the IRS in the form of taxes, it's too late. Take action. Join me, author, TV, and radio host Casey Weed, for the Social Security Live via webinar on Wednesday, May 15th at 8:30 a.m., 12 or 7 p.m. You'll learn how a growing trend of successful families are taking Social Security early, resulting in more money in retirement. How much
Nice.
you potentially paid into
It's
Social
always good when you get done with
Security,
work.
strategies to get those hard-earned dollars back, and protecting Medicare B&D premiums from a stealth tax most never see coming. Join us Wednesday, May 15th. Every attendee will receive a customized Social Security analysis. There's no cost, but space is limited. Register now at SaveYourBenefitsIndiana.com or call 866-482-9559, 866-482-9559.
Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Daily Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Wouldn't it be great to see your windows in a whole new light? Do it right. Call your local neighborhood experts. Budget Blinds. You'll get beautiful style and personalized service for every budget. We bring the showroom right to your home, so you can choose from hundreds of blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes, plus smart home window coverings you control with the touch of a button. And with Budget Blinds, we do it all for you. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. There's a reason why Budget Blinds is the #1 provider of custom window coverings in North America. When we say we have style and service for every budget, we really mean it. So let's get your home a whole lot of gorgeous. Get your free consultation right at home. Just go online to budgetblinds.com or call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS. Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS for your free consultation right at home. Now that's beautiful. At participating independently owned and operated franchises only. Ask for details.
Thank you for calling Mooring Office Company.
Don't settle. Start an exciting career in the building industry. As a union carpenter or millwright, you'll be paid to learn on the job, earn some of the best pay in the industry, get great benefits, and even earn a debt-free college degree. With hundreds of options, you'll create the career path that's
What's up, Sean?
Join the 75,000.
Sean ghosted us yesterday, didn't he? It's going to go in my coverage of his campaign from now on.
Partnership at IndianaCIP.com.
The top local stories, updated all the time on 953MNC.com. From News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595. 953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. I do want to thank R&B Car Company. Locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. In an unprecedented move, the U.S. government seized a North Korean cargo vessel that was allegedly used to violate sanctions placed against the North Korean government. The national security officials announced today that the U.S. had seized the Wise Honest, a 17,061-ton ship that is registered in North Korea. The Wise Honest was intercepted early April 2nd, and while carrying coal from North Korea. The ship had not operated its automatic signaling system since August 4th of 2017, according to the Justice Department. It was used to illicitly ship coal from North Korea and to deliver heavy machinery to the North Korean government, according to the Justice Department. Again, this happened on April 2nd, so it's over a month ago, and we're just learning about it. So it's not like, it got reported kind of earlier that, oh my God, we just did this. What's going to happen? That sort of thing. And, again, we're still dealing with North Korea. North Korea is going to do North Korean-like things. All right. So that's going to happen. As we have said before, trust but verify. I don't trust Kim Jong-un. I don't think anybody else should trust Kim Jong-un. However, the state of North Korea now is undeniably better than it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, etc. Things have dramatically improved. And even if they don't improve with our relationship with them, they have improved with Japan. They have improved with South Korea. And I know they've got these missile tests, okay? So North Korea is still doing some things that they're going to do. They said that they're watching it. I'm not sure if these new tests are actual violations of any agreement that we have or any sanctions that we have placed on their short-range missiles. So, yeah, I'm not sure if there's any so-called illegality, if you will, or anything that would be in violation of anything that is in place with testing short-range missiles. Because I would assume that countries can test short-range missiles anywhere, unless, of course, there's been an international agreement that they can't because it's technology they're not supposed to have. I'm not aware of that. I don't know enough about that to tell you. Now, we know that obviously certain types of missiles there's restrictions on. I don't know if this violates any of that, okay? So just because they fired missiles doesn't mean that they're saber rattling like they used to. They used to fire their ICBMs right over Japan. And that's obviously a concern. They didn't do that this time. So still waiting for details on all of that stuff. But North Korea is still going to do what North Korea does. After the talks fell apart, if you will, this last time, there was going to be some stuff. There's rumors that some people got killed on that. Did I talk about that? That North Korea executed some of the people that were a part of the Singapore. Either they were in support of the Singapore delegation or they were a part of the Singapore delegation, which met with President Trump. Remember, President Trump walked out. And there's rumors that several of those people on the North Korean side were executed by Kim Jong-un. Now, for the record, we don't know if this is true, okay? It's just a rumor. And a lot of these rumors, a lot of are true, a lot of them are not true. So we don't entirely know. But allegedly, they were accused of selling information about their missile program to the U.S., and they think that's why Trump looked at them and said, what about the missile sites here and there? And that's when they appeared shocked. Remember that when we were reporting on that, when the president said, well, you've got these missile sites over here too. What about these? What are you going to do with them? And they looked stunned, according to everybody who was there, is that the North Koreans were absolutely shocked by that. Now, here's the thing. We know that it's been well known that they had more than one site. Okay, because we talk about it all the time. It's possible they didn't know that we all knew and that it was common knowledge, and they genuinely thought they were keeping a really good secret, and so they were just blown away by this thing, and then they started looking for somebody to blame, whereas we had already known there were multiple sites that were going to be discussed because it was something that our press had been talking about for months and that we were wondering if the president was going to bring up at the particular meeting. Because obviously North Korea is saying our main nuclear site dismantled, look at all the stuff that we're doing. And a lot of people believe that it was only dismantled because it had already been destroyed in a failed test. So they were just kind of cleaning it up. We had the reports of the other not websites, but the other missile sites that were now active. There was some activity at these other sites. So we're like, all right, so North Korea is pretending to shut down their nuclear program when really they're just moving it to these other locations. Will the president ask them about that? Well, he did. And they were shocked. And the latest report is that they executed some people because they believe those guys sold that information to the U.S., and perhaps North Korea doesn't realize that we were all well aware of it and we had talking about it for some time now, that they had these other sites. So again, we don't have any confirmation of any of this, but still interesting. I also, speaking of North Korea, I posted a story at theburningtruth.us today. And this story, did you see the viral video of the two black guys who went up to the Asian group and ripped off their red MAGA hats and were throwing it around in the street? Did you see that? Now, that went viral a week or two ago, something like that. And they were very confrontational. And you know, these Asians, they looked like they were tourists, okay? Business people who were visiting. But we later found out they were North Korean defectors. So these North Korean defectors are in the United States, and this group of them, they're all wearing red Make America Great Again hats, right? So two rappers come up to them. I guess they're rappers. That's what I read today. I didn't know they were rappers before today. Came up to them, were tearing their hats off of their head and throwing them around the street and stepping on them and screaming and cussing at these Asian tourists who happen to be North Korean defectors. Well, they responded finally. So they actually wrote a letter. They said, "We are familiar with living a life where you cannot express your views, beliefs, or values. In North Korea, if you do express opposing views and get caught, torture, execution, or concentration camps become your fate." That was in North Korea and its system. No freedom of expression, continuous fear, man-made starvation, fear of death. The people we are trying to rescue are those who have fled North Korea, and the person that you took the hat off of and stomped on has a 6-month-old son and a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old daughter, and his wife in North Korea were all brutally executed or sent to concentration camps by the North Korean regime. He does not know all of the things President Trump does, but he is appreciative of the present administration's stance towards North Korea and its effort for freedom and not compromising with Kim Jong-un in recent Hanoi summit. While you can express your discomfort towards the MAGA hat, as long as it's done in a peaceful manner, it's fine with us. But what you did to us was absolute hatred. We are back in our homeland, and I hope you protect the freedom that was hard fought, which was not free to your country. So they're part of a Christian group that rescues North Korean defectors. And that's right, the second summit was in Hanoi. It wasn't in Singapore. My apologies. So they've actually responded, but that's an interesting story. I've got that up there at theburningtruth.us. You should read it and then watch the video of what happened if you haven't seen it. We've got more coming up on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
WTRC FM and HD1. Niles.
Like a 3-year-old keeping a secret. Yeah. Yeah, kid looks at you, chocolate all over the face. No, I didn't have it. I didn't eat it. What are you talking about?
Down 141 points at the closing bell. It could have been worse today, though, as the U.S. and China prepare to resume trade talks in Washington. The Dow had been down over 400 points during the session before some hopeful comments from President Trump.
I did get last night a very beautiful letter from President Xi. Let's work together. Let's see if we can get something done. But they renegotiated.
He criticizes China's team for trying to renegotiate on concessions they had already made. That prompted a new round of U.S. tariffs set to kick in just after midnight tonight.
Now, what it means is that stuff you buy from China will be more expensive starting Friday on $200 billion worth of items. That includes everything from strawberries to inflatable rafts to parking meters. It's 6,000 items.
Inflatable rafts?
Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence.
Oh, your parking meters are going to get more expensive.
For the postponement of those tariffs. The 19-year-old accused in the deadly shooting at a California synagogue last month on the last day of Passover is now hit with federal hate crime charges.
We will not allow our community members to be hunted in their houses of worship, where they should feel free and safe to exercise their right to practice their religion.
U.S. Attorney Robert Brewer Jr. announcing the 109 hate crime charges against the 19-year-old suspect. The woman is posed.
Let's see.
Both friends out of hundreds of thousands of dollars in New York.
This
At least 4 years in prison. Anna Sorokin could serve as much as 12 years. She is expected to be deported back to her native Germany for overstaying a visa once her sentence is finished. This is Fox News.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station. News Talk 95.3.
Huzzah!
And 95.3 MNC.
All right. There we go. Finally finished with my little side project. All right. I would assume that it would have some very good results. Considering the last one that blew up, they sure did come to the negotiation table pretty darn quick. All right, so, okay, first seizure, okay, so there's that. I just can't get caught up today. Trying, folks, hold up.
An appeals court has overturned an injunction that stopped Michigan from suspending the licenses of people who can't afford to pay traffic fines.
The court said that the policy might be counterproductive, especially if a driver's license suspension prevents someone from traveling to a job and making money. But the court also
Yeah, of course it's counterproductive, but so is every policy with the courts and all of their fees.
a federal judge had told the state to stop
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear this news story here, but this is that injunction in Michigan. So Michigan they were told to stop penalizing or taking away people's driver's licenses who couldn't pay fines. So if you had a fine and you couldn't pay it, they would take your driver's license away. And so the court basically said that that was counterproductive because if you take away their license, then they can't get to work and then they can't pay the fine. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. Right. But every single court fee, fine, payment does the same thing. So if the court issues you a fine and you don't pay the fine, what happens? A bench warrant's issued and you go to jail. You go to jail, you lose your job, you can't pay the fine. So you could use that argument for literally anything. Oh, is Sean still here? I expected him to ghost me again.
He said he had to go to work. I thought you said.
Yeah, but he said he had some time. He said he like half an hour. I'm just messing with you, man. All right, so there's that.
Right now it's 59 degrees at the 95.3 MNC studios. I'm John 70 News Talk 95.3 Michiana's News Channel.
Download the 95.3 MNC app and stay connected to live audio.
The real question is, does Sean think that he can get teachers to actually back him, considering historically they don't back Republicans? That's the real question. Because he's one of them, so can he actually convert some people? Because that would be huge. Okay, shoppers are not bracing for price hikes, okay? They're not. You're not even going to notice the hikes. Have I not gone over the tariff rollout enough with everybody? You're not going to go to the grocery store or the other store tomorrow and all of a sudden be paying $100 more than you were the previous day.
But what if we are?
And then I will be wrong, and I will tell everybody that I was wrong.
2 miles north of the bypass on Highway 19 in Elkhart or at internationalrvwholesalers.net.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring is prime home buying season.
It's just not happening.
Right now is the time to lock a low rate, which can save you money every month.
Casey, I have an heirloom Derringer I need refurbished. Can Second Amendment arms help? That is an excellent question. Paul does do that work.
Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another.
Well, yeah, if they pass the new tax bill, of course. Talk about a price hike.
Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer
What's up, Kevin? How you doing?
Again, to lock into
Damn, Tracy's gone already. Just like that. She's like the wind. It's like she just kind of comes in. Tracy. Gone. Just out of there. Back to work. I thought she said she was done with work today. I thought you said you were done.
Talk radio that talks with you, not at you. Casey Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3.
All right, here we go. I'll try to only buy American. Good luck with that. American products pretty much don't exist. A lot of the Chinese products aren't even Chinese. And good afternoon.
Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Somebody just sent me a text, and it was about our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range. And it says, Casey, I have an heirloom Derringer I need refurbished. Can Second Amendment Arms help? And I have seen Paul refurbish several firearms, actually. In fact, we used to work with a woman here, and he went ahead and fixed, before they were even a client, he went ahead and he fixed their firearm for them. So he does do that. I don't know about that specific firearm, but I would assume that if he can't, he can direct you to somebody who can. But yes, he does do those refurb works. And it's funny because I have one that we want to probably take over to him and have him fix up for us as well. Yeah, give them a call, because I talk about the range a lot. I talk about the gun store and the accessories and everything else, but they also do repairs. So you can definitely go talk to Second Amendment Arms about all of that. Once again, the website is secondamendmentarms.net. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, you know what? I have to talk about this. So we've got this shooting, okay, in Denver. And so what happens now? Anytime you have a shooting at all, anytime there's a mass public shooting, but especially a school shooting, people run to stand on the graves of the dead. That's what they do. And they do it not because they care about the victims, not because they care about future victims. They do it because they want to win a political fight. That's what it's about. And this very short window, when you are the anti-gun crowd, you have this very small window in the United States, and it's actually quite interesting because it goes back decades. In the U.S., we are so pro-gun that the only time that is even pliable to a small degree is right after innocent people, in particular kids, are killed. And so there's this tiny little window where you can actually get some sympathy if you are opposed to firearms in the United States. So when they do the polling and everything else, right? This is why every time there's a mass shooting, you see a rash of so-called scientific polls. They go out there, they get all of the polling they can do, they phrase the questions in such a way that they can go ahead and put it up on their headlines and kind of distort what people were saying. Kind of like when people run around and say, even NRA members say that we should have common sense gun control. First of all, you don't know that because you've never surveyed NRA members. You have never had access to the NRA's membership list. They have never released it to the public. You have not called anybody. You're basically relying on somebody saying, yeah, I'm an NRA member, but you have no verification that that is accurate. So it's not scientific. All right. So anybody can call up anybody. Okay, so give you a perfect example. I'm getting a bunch of those survey calls right now and text messages, and I got a bunch of people sending me them. Like, I keep getting this text message about this person running for office and whether or not I'm supporting them and all of that stuff. You don't have to tell them what you really do for a living, and you don't have to tell them if you are really going to support that person or what have you. So we have no way of knowing if any of these people that are being surveyed are actually NRA members. But we also know that when you ask the same question, but you ask it two different ways, you get two different answers with that very same thing. So when you look at the way that these things are done, they're easily manipulated. And there's a science to it, and there's an art to it as well. If you've ever listened to any of my conversations with pollsters about this, they can ask the question because they're hired by a group or a person to go ahead and do the survey, right? So somebody hires them to do it most of the time. There are some firms that go out there and do their own thing. But most of the time, you're hired by a group or a person who has an agenda. They want to get information. They want to try and push their agenda. And so you'll twist the question a little bit, and you'll be able to get them the answers that they want. And in this short window after a shooting, especially like what happened in Denver, they are able to get people who are staunch Second Amendment supporters to appear pliable just by the way that they ask those questions. And then a couple of weeks later, when they do the exact same survey, it's gone. All of their support disappears, it evaporates, and it goes right back into where Americans are, which are pro-Second Amendment. Okay? So there's, we're compassionate people. We see people get hurt, and we start grappling with ourselves on, is there something that we could do that will save lives and maintain rights? Is there something we could do? We all do this. When you have a huge human tragedy, this goes on. And so there's a perfect opportunity to, what I call, stand on the graves of the dead. So you got a bunch of bodies underneath you figuratively, and you just climb up that little hill. Now you're elevated and you're looking down at everybody and going, see how horrible this is? All of these people that I'm standing on, they shouldn't be here. And we need to do something about it. So let's go out there and let's change the laws and all of that. And we have to move quick. We have to be immediate about it. And the reason they want to be so fast about it is not because they want to save anybody's life. It's because they know that your likelihood of supporting their position erodes over time. So that's what we had, unfortunately, with a vigil for the victims of the shooting in Denver yesterday. I guess it actually technically happened today, didn't it? So we have the shooting. A vigil is organized. Kids attend the vigil. We've got one student dead. We've got several that are wounded, some seriously. And we hope that everybody pulls through. And then all of a sudden, you've got a vigil. Well, that's what you do when people are hurt. You have a vigil. And you come together, you mourn, you grieve, you provide support for one another. That's what you do, especially if you know the individuals involved, right? Communities do this all the time. Well, it turns out that a lot of students did not appreciate the way that the vigil was conducted. So this is in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Students and parents walked out of a planned vigil for STEM school Highlands Ranch students on Wednesday, when they said that the conversation turned into political theater. 9 students were shot by 2 of their classmates just before 2 p.m. By the way, the transgender student's lawyer officially asked for the court to call her a he today. Okay, they originally had been operating under the premise that they had 2 boys in custody, and they ended up finding out that one was a biological female who identified as male. So the lawyer made the official request today that the court referred to them as he. 9 students were shot by 2 of their classmates just before 2 p.m. Tuesday. One of those students, 8-year-old Kendrick Castillo, who, by the way, sacrificed his life to save others, was killed. 8 others were injured. The event was originally described as an interfaith memorial vigil. It was to be hosted at nearby Highlands Ranch High School. Some students that are part of a group called Team Enough, and the word enough is all capitalized, organized the vigil. Now, I don't expect you, and I don't expect the students to have any idea who Team Enough is. Team Enough is a youth program that is a part of the Brady campaign. Now, the Brady campaign, a bunch of you perked up. You know exactly who they are. They're an anti-gun group. So, this is a youth group that was organized by a national anti-gun group to go in and mobilize against guns inside these schools. They're the ones that organized the vigil. So the vigil was not organized by friends, relatives, what have you. It was organized by the Brady campaign as not a vigil, but an anti-gun rally. That's where things started becoming a problem. Student organizers said that they wanted to provide an opportunity for the community to come together and heal. All right. Many of the students in Highlands Ranch High School, they're actually friends with students at STEM. They're 2 communities really close together. Okay. So you've got an anti-gun group. The Brady campaign's youth program says we need a vigil because we all need to come together and grieve. Only that's not what they did. I'll tell you about it coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Good on those kids for walking.
Yeah, it gets worse, actually. Nom, 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 nom. So at 4:30, I may need to find some coffee.
Forecast is drier but cool as we go through the weekend.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if my wife took any pictures of my floor today, because today was what, second or third poly coat. Sure does, Sarah.
Mother's Day Sunday looks a little cloudy, possibly a
Doop,
shower.
boop, doop, doop.
Upper 50s. Sunshine Monday.
Let's see.
Of 60, Tuesday 66 in sunshine. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Coombs.
We're thinking we can move into the new house next week. So mid next week is what we're thinking. I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. The Brady campaign. Hillbilly's just going to run that into the ground. Amanda. All right, so let's take a look at the new list here.
Weather forecasts are everywhere. What makes the 5 working meteorologists of ABC 57?
So the beautiful thing about the tariffs with China up until this point is that the Trump administration has put them mostly on low dollar items, okay, with the exception of steel. He's trying to kill Chinese steel, which that affects the air conditioning, electrical industries, things like that here. But most of the tariffs have been on low dollar items. So when you actually go buy them, you don't really notice a difference. It's like, a couple of cents. So the stuff with Europe, he was putting it on cars. So BMW was getting tagged thousands of dollars. Let's see if he's just increasing the current tariffs here. Let's see. So $200 billion worth of Chinese goods.
7 nights a week at 7 on CW25.
Attention all longshore and shipyard workers. Were you exposed to loud noises on the job? You think your hearing may be damaged due to your work on the waterfront? Contact Friedman and Laurie at shipyardhearingloss.com to set up a free hearing test. Find out if you are eligible for hearing loss disability.
The problem is usually you don't have the list this early. You usually have to wait a couple of months to get it. Oh, here we go. All right. Seafood, luggage, electronics.
Mother's Day is this
So
Sunday. What am I going to get her?
your Chinese seafood is going to go up. That won't be a big thing here in the Midwest, but in some of the coastal areas it will be. But again, low dollar item. Luggage, Chinese luggage, low dollar item. So you might see a couple of bucks here and there. Electronics, most Chinese electronics are fairly cheap. So it's really not. It doesn't. The way that it's done is very, very smart. I got to give him credit. He's done it pretty smart. So you're not going to walk in and see, sticker shock, but you might see some price adjustments here, a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there, some cents depending on some of those things. Americans don't buy a lot of high dollar Chinese items, and they usually protect American companies too, by the way. So for instance, the iPhones that come from China usually are not included in the tariffs. They've actually been amended out. Yeah, you got it, Sean. We'll work something out, man. If it can't be this week, it'll be next week, whatever. I've been swamped, dude. I'm sorry.
Motorcycles for people who share it. Indian Motorcycle, America's first motorcycle company.
Visit Elkhart Indian Motorcycle on Cassopolis Street in Elkhart today. Always wear your helmet, never drink and ride.
Countertops, yeah, we could use a countertop. We're looking at redoing the entire kitchen. So we're going to gut the kitchen. We're going to wait until we officially close on it because we're moving in before we actually buy it. So we're going to do a purchase contract. And what that allows us to do is establish residency in the place, which actually makes it easier to buy, even though we totally qualify to buy it to begin with. But we're just trying to, after the last deal fell through, we're trying to make sure we have everything kind of lined up even better than it was before and take our time with it. But yes, we will need countertops. We're going to do all new cabinetry. We have cabinet people that are friends of ours. But countertops we do need.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-95.3. 953. Again, want to thank our traffic sponsor. That is R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. Okay. So we have this shooting in Denver. There's a vigil. The vigil, however, is planned by the youth program of the Brady campaign, which of course is an anti-gun organization. It is not planned by the friends of the victims, family of the victims, or anything like that. It is planned by a group who exists to plan these types of events. And the reason that they plan these types of events is because, again, that small little window where Americans who are typically pro-Second Amendment are a little pliable on a couple of things. Student organizers said that they wanted to provide an opportunity for the community to come together and heal. Only they didn't. The event also featured two Democratic politicians, a Colorado Congressman, Jason Crow, and Senator Michael Bennet. Also featured Moms Demand Action, which is another anti-gun group. Okay. So you've just had, 9 people shot, 1 dead. You had 2 shooters come into the school. And you organize a vigil under the guise that you are going to give people an opportunity to honor the victims, come together and heal, and yet you bring politicians and anti-gun activists to the event, and it was organized by an anti-gun outfit. So you lied to everybody to get them in that room. What a sick, twisted thing to do. What an absolutely twisted thing to do. We just want everybody to come together and heal, while we have all of these anti-gun individuals come in here and attack the Second Amendment. STEM students who came to the event said that they were frustrated to hear politicians speak. Why would a politician be doing this? It's supposed to be a vigil. They grew angry as the conversation turned to gun control and policy. A large group stormed out of the event in protest. They demanded an opportunity to speak and were upset when they were not given the chance. So again, let's rewind. There's a shooting. An anti-gun group pretends to put together a vigil, invites anti-gun politicians and members of other anti-gun groups to participate in the event, pretends it's a vigil, but then turns it into an anti-gun rally. When students who are there to honor fellow students who were shot want to speak, they are denied an opportunity to speak at the vigil/anti-gun rally. And at that point, they storm out. Why would you at a vigil deny people who know the victims an opportunity to speak about the victims unless your agenda was not the victims? Your agenda was guns. Period. End of story. That's all it was about. Many STEM students later returned to the Highlands Ranch High School gymnasium and refocused the event back to the victims of the shooting. What has happened at STEM is awful, and it's not a statistic, one student said. We can't be used as a reason for gun control. We are people, not a statement. So one person actually stood up and said this was not a vigil. This was purely a political stunt. This is not what we wanted for Kendrick. I mean, good for them. Good for them. And again, we've documented this for years for a reason. When I say they stand on the graves of the dead, I mean it. I'm not trying to be inflammatory. I'm not trying to be misleading in any way. That's what it's about. There's a reason that you see anytime something like this happens, the first thing that happens, you pop onto the news, every member of the media and every activist out there starts talking about gun control before we even know how many victims there are, if there are any victims, how many shooters there are. It's always an AR-15 before we have an idea of what the guns were. These were illegally obtained handguns, by the way, in case anybody was curious. They always go after all of those things immediately. That's the goal. The goal is to get rid of big, scary rifles, which are almost never used in shootings. The goal is to go ahead and demonize the NRA, whose members are never involved in any of these events unless their members are stopping the event because they're an armed citizen. That's happened. And to attack Republicans. That's the goal of these things. Not the victims, not protecting anybody, not saving anybody's life. It is purely a ploy to go ahead at that pliable, small window, get people angry and upset. Remember, when you're angry and you're scared, your brain turns off. You are not a reasonable person when you're angry or scared. And so right now, you're scared. And then you get real angry about what happened. And they know they can just manipulate you just a little bit and maybe get you to walk with them one step of the way. And by the way, I almost posted this. I didn't because I think it would have given my boss a heart attack. I came so close to posting this earlier. What percentage of the youth group, Team Enough, which is a part of the Brady campaign, what percentage of those students who organized this vigil had dollar signs running through their heads that they were going to become the next group of students to become a part of this national movement and get paid to go give speeches all over the country? Like David Hogg. Maybe get themselves a nice free ride into Harvard, even though David Hogg didn't qualify to go into Harvard. His SAT scores were not good enough. Don't think for a second that that wasn't on some of their minds. We didn't want Kendrick to be a prop. We wanted Kendrick to be mourned. We wanted all of you to join us in that mourning, but that was not allowed here. By the way, the crowd was roaring, according to reports when they were saying this. When students did get a chance to talk about the victims, they shared stories about Castillo. We are mourning the loss of our best friend, our brother, Kendrick Castillo. One student said, he's somebody that cared for everybody, somebody who was always there, that could fix any problem. Whether that was with his hammer or with his words, he was there. He was somebody that we all loved and somebody that was so kind that he was willing to sacrifice his own life for ours, and we are forever grateful. So they finally were able to do it. Now, before you say, okay, so you're being mean and you just don't like these anti-gun groups. You're right, I don't like these anti-gun groups, mainly because they want to pull stunts like this. But before you think that I'm just, big, bad, pro-gun Casey, the Brady campaign apologized for their conduct in this. So they themselves realize what they did was wrong. Kyle Clark, verified social media person, I assume he's with the local media there. STEM school students walked out of a vigil tonight. After Representative Jason Crow and Senator Bennett spoke, students said their grief was being politicized. They later returned, took the mic, and some said that they didn't want to be used to promote gun control. This is all from 9 News, by the way. Frustrated, crying, and angry, STEM schools shooting victims hold an impromptu vigil in the rain Wednesday after leaving a gun control vigil. They felt inappropriately politicized their trauma. That's Trevor Hughes, who says they asked that I not photograph their faces up close, and I respected their wishes. By the way, good for you. Another local member of the media respecting people who are trying to mourn. So they had to leave the organized vigil, go outside in the rain and organize their own. And then they came back. They said, no, we're taking the microphone. This is ridiculous. Let's see. Students started chanting mental health after they left. Where's the whole thing? I'm trying to look for the whole apology. Vigil for victims, survivors. Okay. Trevor Hughes, I think a lot of confusion comes from the fact that many attendees didn't realize this was specially organized by gun control activists. Most thought it was just a vigil. Gun control organization at Brady Buzz, that's the Brady campaign, apologized for the STEM shooting vigil. This is Kyle Clark. Students walked out saying that their grief was being politicized. Quote, we are deeply sorry any part of this vigil did not provide the support, caring, and sense of community that we sought to foster and facilitate, according to 9 News. You didn't seek to foster or facilitate any of that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had a bunch of anti-gun politicians and anti-gun activists from two different organizations there. If your goal was to go ahead and bring everybody together and provide an opportunity for support, caring, sense of community, you would have had counselors there and you would have never mentioned your organization. It would have never come up. That was never your goal. The problem is they went too far and they got caught. And the only reason that they got caught is because these students took a stand for their friends and their classmates, and good for them for doing it. Got more coming up. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. MNC News Time is 4:32. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
The guns were stolen. They were stolen.
Governor Holcomb signed the bill on the final day to act on the measure that had been approved by lawmakers in the final hours of this year's state legislative session. The measure would also allow...
They said that they believe they stole the guns from their parents, by the way.
Is Colorado.
Colorado is a pretty lax gun state. Denver is a little bit more restrictive than most of the state, but it's Denver, yeah. But lots of gun owners in Colorado. Lots of gun owners in Colorado, no doubt. But you get to the point where as a parent, you have teenagers who I assume that you have now raised with this or trained, and so you think everything's safe. Things aren't as locked up as before, and you've got a couple of mental cases and you don't notice it.
Which in high school isn't that uncommon.
Correct. They're like, oh, they're basically adults now. They're 18 years. One of them's under 18, but one's 18. Basically 18 years old. I don't have to lock the gun up like I used to. They're adults.
Which isn't wrong.
Isn't wrong. Right. Okay, here we go. Mom. My wife gave me some more pics.
She's a mom.
Well, yeah. She does act like my mom sometimes. So the cabinets are white now. And she doesn't know, but I have found a replacement refrigerator. The refrigerator there is fine, but it's
small.
It's small, but it's more the freezer. The freezer, the door opens. So the freezer's on the bottom, but the door opens. It doesn't slide out. So the door opens, and you have to get on your knees and pull stuff out of the freezer. And she wasn't happy about that. So, I mean, we're grateful that we have it, don't get me wrong, but she wasn't too thrilled about that. This gave me an excuse to tell her that I was going to buy the extra freezer anyway, which I want in the garage.
Like the deep freeze.
Yeah, I just want a rectangle
Those things aren't
freezer.
bad to have. Those are good.
Well, we always have so much frozen crap anyway, and if I'm going to really start hunting more like I want to, I need a place to put the damn meat.
It's good. It's good to have those. You can put just about anything in there.
Yeah, that's it.
We use it. When in the summer we put we get a bunch of popsicles at the beginning of summer. We just throw them in there.
Yeah, I hear you.
And we'll get say pizza rolls. So we'll get 3 big bags of pizza rolls, put one of them in the actual freezer.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So I found a bunch of refrigerators today that are very affordable and very nice. She will be very happy with them. So.
Okay. Most of it.
Well, the cabinets, they're the same cabinets. We're just painting them white, so they look much better than they did. The kitchen is way brighter than it was. But we're going to be replacing, because my mom is watching the stream, so naturally my mom is very curious about all of this. We're going to be replacing all of those. And that's where the countertop thing came in that you were talking about, because we will need a countertop to go with that. So.
Quit scrolling through job websites or Googling openings in our area. Now is your chance to see and speak in person with companies looking to hire. Federated Media invites you to the Michiana Career Fair, presented by Speedway, May 15th from
2 to 6 p.m. at the Century Center in South Bend. Come
But the
dress
floors
your
look pretty good.
ready to be hired by several different companies from around the area.
So they're just layering up the poly now.
By Speedway and Benchmark Human Services.
It's a nice oak floor, just went with a natural finish. So nothing that's tinted. And then when they get all of the poly on there, they're going to put a satin on top, so that way it still looks rich and clean, but is easier to clean up. So.
In the red for the fourth straight session as a midnight deadline looms, with the U.S. preparing to raise import tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese goods from 10% to 25%. Technology stocks posting the steepest drop in shares of Apple
Boop, 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 boop.
which get a large
Boop, boop.
portion of their revenue
Boop, boop.
from China. The Dow gainers
Boop, boop.
Chevron, Dow, and
Boop.
Pfizer. The Dow laggards Intel, Apple, 3M, and Boeing. The Dow falls 139 points. The Nasdaq down 33. S&P 500 down 9. And Nike
I agree. They have clearly gotten away from freezer space, which doesn't make sense to me because it seems like nowadays we need, maybe it's just the way that we eat, I don't know. We need more freezer space than we need refrigerator space. Like everything we have is frozen. Tombstone and 40s of Natty Ice. Former Boeing executive Patrick Shanahan has been nominated as the Secretary of Defense.
Pick your delivery date and send Mom a dozen assorted roses for just $19.99, or double the roses and get a premium glass vase for $9.99 more.
Hey, you know what I haven't been able to find a lot lately? Maybe it's because Walmart doesn't carry them. You know those like dollar frozen pizzas that are like this big? I used to always have those around as like a quick little lunch. I can't find the damn things anywhere now. Now, 90% of my shopping is at Walmart, but they were always $1. Every now and then you get them on sale for like 50 cents, so 2 for $1. And dude, they're this big. They're just the size of a paper plate. So you microwave them, you fold them in half, and eat them like a taco. Used to have a butt ton of those around. Yeah, David, we actually know the owners of Camden. So I was going to check there as well, because they do the scratch and dent thing.
Almost free. If your home's cooling and heating system is 10 years or older, you can replace that old central air conditioner and furnace with more efficient ones.
They're just there as a snack, man. They're not there as like meals. Chill out. I am right next door to a Volcano Pizza. I've been trying to eat Volcano Pizza for 7 friggin' years. We actually, at one point, we drove to Elkhart to go to Volcano Pizza, and they were closed because they close at these weird-ass times.
You'll get beautiful style and personalized service for every budget. We bring the
Yeah, they're good. They're good people over there at Camden. They really are.
hundreds of blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes.
You're right.
Plus
It's
smart home window
like it's not entertaining.
with the touch of a button.
Now, Walmart in Niles after 9 o'clock is entertaining, but also concerning.
Enjoy. There's a reason why budget blinds
Like that
is
time
the
that girl
number
called
one
me a milk
provider of
dud.
custom window coverings in North America. When we say
Called
we have
you a
style
milk
and
She called me a milk
service
dud.
budget,
So
we really mean it. So
these
let's
2
get
white
started
trash
on
girls were having a conversation with my white trash
right at home.
checker,
Just go
and they were
online to
comparing their prison tattoos,
or call
which is what I assume they were because whoever did it is clearly not a tattoo artist. And they're like, oh yeah, I got this tattoo here, I got this tattoo there. And meanwhile, I'm waiting for them. They're done. They're all done. They're just talking with the cashier.
Ask for details.
And all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there. I literally have like milk duds because I got in a friggin' red box. We were gonna watch a movie, and I had milk duds and like something else. And so I was gonna come home, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're taking some time." I'm like, "Whatever, it's fine." And then she looks at me, she goes, "Milk dud," like what? And then I was told you shouldn't have gone to Walmart in Niles after 9 o'clock, and that was a fair point.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number, 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. All right, so a couple of text messages first, and then we will And we'll get out of the way here. Let's see, and make sure I get all of them. There's a contest that ran in between all of this. Let's see. Casey, I always ask why we didn't try to ban guns when it was the government killing innocent kids in Kent. Kent State. Well, yeah, because it's the government. I mean, by the way, they still want the government to have the guns. What is interesting about this is what I thought was so interesting about the wildlife refuge situation that happened in Oregon with the Bundy kid, was that you had the Black Lives Matter people calling him a white supremacist, and all of these Second Amendment people who were there calling them white supremacists when they had the exact same complaint that the Black Lives Matter people had. If you go back in time before Black Lives Matter existed and you're to look at the YouTube content there, it was Second Amendment people who were posting about police abuse, coming onto property without warrants, arresting people without cause, that sort of thing. And most of those people happen to be Caucasian. It shouldn't be relevant, but it documented that, hey, you know what? In various departments across the country, they've got an issue with officers who get out of line. And sometimes the department protects those officers. Not all the time, but sometimes it does happen, right? And I'm not speaking about any local department or anything like that. Southern tapes. But we are, talking about just in general that this happens across the country. Sorry, something about the tapes. So they're posting all of this stuff. And I was always sitting here and going, the reason that Black Lives Matter doesn't want to sign up with these other people who've been out there exposing abuses of government authority for all of these years is because the people who have been doing it for all of these years weren't the right skin color. They weren't the right skin color. And Black Lives Matter didn't want to throw in with white people. That's just how it was. I'm not talking about everybody who was involved in the movement, because some people got involved with Black Lives Matter who genuinely did not know that they were a black separatist organization, genuinely did not think that they were racists, the founders of the group. They just want innocent people to not be abused by the government. Cool. Well, so does the Bundy family. So does everybody else. I mean, one guy got murdered out there. Okay? One guy got murdered by FBI agents who then covered it up. People forget that. Remember the car chase? Okay, the whole car chase with the refuge, the wildlife refuge, and a guy got murdered. I watched the video. He didn't reach for anything. I watched the aerial video. I watched the video from the girl that was in the back seat. There was one time where I said, maybe that could potentially be a threat. And then I watched the other video. He clearly wasn't a threat. And then you had the FBI agents picking up shell casings and hiding them. Remember, they got arrested. And nobody talks about it. So there's police abuse that happens. There's government abuse that happens, right? And, as citizens, part of what we do is we hold them accountable, and we want their leadership to hold them accountable as well. And that happens a lot, but sometimes it doesn't. And that's when you have to call people out. So I always thought it was interesting that you didn't have all of these people who had a legitimate similar complaint. Basically, the complaint was with Black Lives Matter and these other groups, the complaint was sometimes government authorities abuse their power and we pay the price. And that needs to stop. So why not have some kind of a joint venture for that? Why do we have to separate it out? And I guess it's just because we're in a social justice world, right? So we talked about the thing that happened in Canada where they were going to have the LGBTQ rally, right? But the minority groups felt that they weren't being represented enough. And so the whole rally got scrapped. Like you can't just be LGBTQ for one day, for one rally, and then go back to being your race or whatever the next day. Like, you can't have a separate rally that focuses more on those issues at another time. You have to really just nuke the entire thing. That doesn't make any sense. But that's what people are doing. That's what people are doing. Let's see. So that was just about the Kent State thing. But okay, my point. Sorry, diatribe. A little bit, like 5-minute diatribe. Tense. So you had the people who say that the government abuses their authority and that the police are running around and killing people with impunity, which they're not doing. But the people who say that are the same people who say that we need to ban guns and only the government should have guns. It makes no sense. Which one is it? Which one is it? Casey, what brand of 3D printing filaments for a sub 250 printer like the Creality Ender 3 should I use? That is an easy question. Okay. What's that? Call tomorrow? That is an easy question for me. Atomic filament, I think, is the best filament on the planet. And there's a lot of really good filament companies out there. Atomic filament, you can get them at See Me CNC, which is a local company here. Go to See Me CNC. That's SEEME CNC, like see me, use a CNC machine, okay? SeeMeCNC.com. You can order all of your atomic filament from them. They even have the atomic parsed out in its own. They sell other filament too, but atomic has its own category. Trust me, that stuff lays down like butter. It is the smoothest printing filament I have ever used, and I have used a lot of good filament, okay? If anybody asks me what filament to use, Atomic is the first one on that list. FYI, a lot of the other brands that some of you printers are going to send me right now, what you don't know is that Atomic makes that filament for them. They just rebrand it. So a lot of the best brands of filament out there are actually made by Atomic right here in Michiana, ladies and gentlemen. No joke. So go to seemecnc.com, buy your filament there. All right, we got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
K.C. Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3.
Call tomorrow during open. Yeah, call tomorrow. That'd have been funny.
Weather served up by the Prime Table Restaurant in Niles. Does your family
I didn't get my coffee, damn it.
regularly for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Just call the Prime Table to reserve tables for your next gathering.
I'm not a Walmart fan either, but I should say I like their prices. I don't like going there.
Dropping into the upper 30s Friday night, partly cloudy, a little patchy fog. Saturday, the warm low 60s, partly cloudy, the best day of the weekend as Mother's Day Sunday looks a little cloudy.
Alrighty, I'll get that out there as soon as I can. You know what happens on the bypass about this time? There's construction.
I'm pretty sure the construction causes a backup, like it does every day, has for the past month. Cool, we're on the same page. Swizzo Dizzo.
17 and 120. The lights are on.
Okay. Wait a minute, I didn't like Impress Jewelry Creations? I swear I did. I swear I did. Oh yeah, I liked it as my page. I just didn't like it as myself. Okay, I'll like it as myself too. They get 2 likes off of me.
She's the one who changed your dirty diapers. She's the one who picked up your toys.
All right, so events, because they got this awesome event coming up.
All while being the shoulder you could lean
The Colored Diamond Showcase, baby.
all she did for you.
That is tomorrow.
Stop by Parkwood Auto Spa at one of their locations and get her an unlimited car wash.
Yeah, the Niles Walmart is crap. Now, the Walmart that's on Portage, off of Cleveland. It's not Cleveland up that direction though, but it's Portage and that, right off of the freeway. That's a good Walmart, man. That's clean. I don't ever have any issues going in there. It's usually a quick in, quick out. It's a good Walmart.
The best looking car on the road.
Walmart is one of the rings of hell. The savings is lost when you have to replace it. Yeah.
Builder Showcase is back. The Home Builders Association of St. Joe Valley invites you to come visit the homes and developments.
Man, I had the weirdest damn person at a convenience store yesterday.
The Builder Showcase gives you
And I think he was Indian, but I don't know for sure. But that's just his race. He's not from there. He's from here, clearly. The only reason I bring it up is he kept saying things in his native tongue to people, and then he would tell you what he was saying, but I'm pretty convinced he was calling us all a bunch of names. And I'm certain he was high as hell. Like as a kite high. Benton Harbor Walmart. Portage and Cleveland, yeah. So it is Cleveland up that way.
details and visit hbasjb.com.
What's the difference?
I can't find the charger for my trimmer. So what's going to happen is right here, I'm going to get the friggin' snaggletooth claws. They look like little pinchers on earwigs that come out. Because for some reason right here, it grows faster than anywhere else. So I have to like make sure I push it to the side. Because if I get out of the shower and I do this, it does the friggin' earwig pincher thing. It looks weird as hell. And I'll trim it. It doesn't matter. It still does it.
Poor Alex. Alex is trying to ask you a question.
Alex is trying to ask me a question? Uh-oh. Hold on. Trying to ask a question. You guys are talking about shitty-ass wall. What are you trying to ask, dude? Okay, what are you trying to ask? Joe's job is to convey it to me, okay? Ask your question, Alex. Do it right now. Joe is paying attention to you. We're on your side, buddy.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Of course, you can watch the live stream going to youtube.com/Casey the host. You can also go to twitch.tv/Casey the host. And if you don't know what Twitch is, ask your grandkids. The live stream has been interesting. Somebody's been trying to ask me a legitimate question, and people keep talking about Walmart. And so his question keeps getting buried. He's getting frustrated. So Joe's job is to make sure that his question gets asked and I answer it in the next news break. All right. So my anniversary was on Monday. That's why I wasn't here. I wasn't ditching you guys. Well, I was, but it was for a good cause. Mandatory anniversary stuff. And I went to Impress Jewelry Creations the previous week to go ahead and buy my wife her gift. And I can't tell you how happy she was with it. She's thrilled. She did actually use the words, "she is not worthy." And you know what? It was a perfect gift. It really was. And it was the perfect gift because of the quality at Impress Jewelry Creations. The value was great. The price for the quality stones that I got in that thing, phenomenal. But also the customer service. I wouldn't have found that piece without having a conversation with Bill for 20 to 30 minutes about something unrelated, and the person who was taking care of me, Kelly, listening to that conversation patiently and picking up on subtle cues that I was giving her that the piece that I had picked out might not be the best piece for my wife. So Kelly and her customer service at Impress Jewelry Creations made the difference in my anniversary present for my wife. Here's the thing. One, you should go to Impress Jewelry Creations anyway, because it's amazing. Just look at what they have, including their custom line of stuff. Guys, they have the William and Henry collection over there. You like Damascus, you like woolly mammoth bone and knives and things like that. They've got all of that stuff for you. You're looking for a good money clip or a good pen? They have it. Looking for a watch? They have it. Now, tomorrow, one day only, they are having the colored diamond showcase. These are natural colored diamonds. And they are coming from mines that are shutting down in the next 18 months. They are not going to produce any more diamonds, and they have no idea where they're going to get these stones in the future, if they can ever get them again. And Impress Jewelry Creations has them. You're talking about investment quality jewelry, okay? Investment quality stones. Stuff that you can add to your portfolio. People are actually diversifying their portfolio with precious gems now. But we're talking about stuff that will increase in value because of their rarity and that you will not be able to get them anymore. And it is one day only, tomorrow, okay? It is tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, that is at Impress Jewelry Creations. They're at 1233 East University Drive in Granger. Contact them to RSVP if you'd like to go ahead and get out there. But it is going to be an amazing event. They're going to have some snacks and stuff like that for people. But it's also a great way for you to, one, look at the quality of stuff that they have, get to meet the amazing people at Impress Jewelry Creations, and also see some stuff that you're never going to see again. It's just going to be a phenomenal opportunity for you to go just mingle and see some awesome stuff. He told me he's got some stuff over there, like $500,000. Like red and pink diamonds, natural colored, not artificial stuff. Okay, just amazing. So go to Impress Jewelry Creations, 1233 East University Drive in Granger. They're right there in the University Park Plaza, right next to C. Kramer Interiors. Okay. I got some more messages here. Did you catch any of Klobuchar's town hall? She did some serious backpedaling, comparing Franken to Cavan. I didn't know she was still in the race. I mean, I assumed she was because I didn't hear that she dropped out, but apparently she's still out there trying to say some stuff. There you go. Pete Buttigieg, the only top 20 Democratic candidates that doesn't offer health care to his campaign staffers. I didn't know that. Oh, it's interesting. So they got a link to that. I'll take a look at it. I ran into an interesting article that I will read to you here recently. Well, actually, it came out today or last night. I read it. Yeah, I read it last night. And it says that Pete Buttigieg is boring and is not going anywhere. And that his polling numbers are down. Okay. So I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just telling you that's the latest piece about it. Casey, why still hear nothing about the Las Vegas shooting? The last thing that we had was that they had no motivation. They had no way to figure out why he did what he did. So that was 2 months ago. Basically, they ended the investigation with going, we know who did it. We know how many people died and we know what he used to do it. We don't know why. We don't know any of the reasons behind why he did anything. So that was the end of the case. As far as I know, the FBI might still, I have to look it up if the FBI closed their thing off, but FBI might still be doing something there. Casey, Meyer has the individual Totino's pizzas. Sometimes they're 10 for 10 and you get one free. Sweet. I'm going to start shopping at Meyer. Let's just ask, did I ask that on the air or was that on this live stream? I think that was on the live stream. I was looking for the dollar pizzas. I can't find them anymore. I used to have them in the house all the time. Let's see. Thank you. I was going to buy Amazon brand stuff. Thank you for what? Amazon brand stuff is really good. You know what? I saw a couple of channels test the Amazon brand motor oil because it's really cheap. It outperforms a lot of name brands. And it's like half the price. I mean, I was stunned. I was absolutely blown away by it. Because when I saw that Amazon was making their own motor oil, or they had their own brand of motor oil, I'm like, it's got to be trash, right? Turns out that it works a lot better than a lot of big name brands, and it works a lot better than most of those big name brands in cold weather, which might be of interest to many of you. Okay. 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. I will go over this article that said that Pete Buttigieg's poll numbers are slipping and that he's boring and that people are getting tired of him. I'll go over that in the next hour. I said, I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with it. I am just letting you know that that's what people are now writing about him. So it makes you wonder if one person is over the honeymoon, is everybody else over the honeymoon also? But we'll see. A lot going on in the world, folks. Don't forget you can watch the live stream. Go on youtube.com/Casey the host or twitch.tv/Casey the host, or coming up on 95.3 MNC.
WTRC FM.
I have never been into a Save-A-Lot. Either. I had one right up the road from my house on 11th Street in Niles, and I basically assumed that if I went in there, the place would get robbed or I would shoot somebody. So, or both. And I just stayed away from it. Every time I drove by, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's at Save-A-Lot. I just saw the people walking in. I'm like, I don't need to go in. SuperTech oil at Walmart outperforms or performs as well. Also, I think it is made by the same company that makes the Amazon stuff. That's interesting. Very interesting.
Okay, so I just in the top 10 highest grossing movies ever. One, two, I think it's 6 out of the top 10 are Disney. And
Okay.
5 of those 6.
But does that count? Because some of them weren't Disney owned at the time.
No, all of them are.
They're owned now.
No.
Because original Star Wars is on there, right?
Star Wars top 10. Just the top 10.
Okay. All right. Dollar amounts probably not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adjusted for inflation, Star Wars 1977 is number 2. Gone with the Wind adjusted.
Okay,
for
but
inflation.
that wasn't owned by Disney back
That's
then.
not what I'm not talking about adjusted for inflation.
Okay, all right, okay,
about
not adjusted for. Okay, I thought you were
The
saying it was.
current
All right.
list. So 6 current produced and owned by Disney.
Wow.
Black Panther, Age of Ultron, the original Avengers, Infinity War, Force Awakens, Endgame.
Some douche nozzle applauded when he showed up in Endgame. Like, seal clapped
Who?
Black Panther.
Oh.
Like Black Panther just showed. And we were all like, "Okay, calm down there, Cupcake. Holy crap!"
So,
Hey, I gotta go find some coffee. I'll be right back.
Elkhart County Prosecuting Attorney Vicki Becker had previously charged Corey Newland and Joshua Titus. But
Somebody make a gif of me doing the seal clap.
Trial process in the federal system. U.S. attorneys for the Northern Indiana District of Indiana requested the state of Indiana dismiss its proceedings to allow the federal proceedings to develop to conclusion. Accordingly, the state is dismissing its pending cases against Newland and Titus so as not to interfere with the federal case.
That's 95.3 MNC's Carl Stutzman. The organization that governs Michigan high school athletics has voted to trim the amount of full contact football practice from a maximum of 90 to 30 minutes per week and to drastically reduce the amount of full contact allowed in preseason workouts.
Michigan joins New Jersey as the second state to implement such rules. Some studies show nearly 60% of concussions in high school football happen on the practice field, compared with 4% in the NFL. Previously, Michigan allowed 1 full contact practice per day in the preseason.
Hey,
now,
it is in here.
maximum of 6 hours a week.
Oh, not my coffee, my friggin'. I knew I had one of these reusable dealios here. Somebody stole it. It was just hidden.
Cubs from a rooftop seat tomorrow night. The United Federal Credit Union rooftop on top of the Ivy at Berlin Place will be made available to the public for the first time this season for tomorrow's game, as the Cubs play host to the Peoria Chiefs at 7:35 p.m. Tickets for the seats are only $30 and include a ballpark buffet, cash bar, private restrooms, access to Four Winds Field, and a South Bend Cubs hat. You can learn more at southbendcubs.com.
Weather served up by the Prime Table. Start your morning with the Prime Table in Niles. This week's breakfast special, biscuits and gravy combos are half off from 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Wake up and go to the Prime Table.
Now, home comfort experts, your air conditioning professionals' first warning forecasts.
Temperatures falling quickly tonight from the 60s into the mid-40s by early Friday. Mostly cloudy, rain ending. Clouds start to break during the day on Friday. We'll top out with a high of 54. Maybe a little patchy frost Friday night. Lows could dip into the 30s. Saturday, partly cloudy with a high of 62.
So over a quarter in the top 100 produced by Disney companies. Movies. 30 of them Disney properties.
Construction season means slowdowns and road closures. Get traffic and
Right.
every 10 minutes on the 6s. Weekday mornings on 95.3 MNC. Your breaking news and weather station.
News powered by Fast Signs of South Bend and Elkhart. This month only, banners are buy one, get one free. See Fast Signs of South Bend and Elkhart for more details.
Spring into savings now at R&B Car Company.
Holy awesome! With over 600 vehicles to choose from, R&B Car Company has the largest used car selection in Michigan.
Gnarly!
Very gnarly. No matter your need. Compact, midsize, luxury, minivans, crossovers, SUVs, and pickup trucks. And make no payments for 90 days.
Totally awesome!
You'll love driving with R&B.
Big time!
Find out for yourself why we are where you ought to be.
This is so radical, man.
No, it's bodacious.
Spring into savings at RVCarCompany.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terrence Mahoney. For over 30 years, we've been helping patients throughout Michiana improve the appearance and function of their teeth. Now it's your turn. Join me and our staff at Mahoney Family Dentistry for our denture and implant information night, Wednesday, May 15th. You can discover if dentures or implants are the answer to your dental problems. Attend our denture and implant information night at Mahoney Family Dentistry, Wednesday, May 15th. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat right away by visiting MahoneyDDS.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Let's talk credit card debt for a minute. If you feel you're carrying too much of it, you're not alone. The average household in the U.S. carries over $8,000 in credit card debt. Ready for some good news? With a cash-out refinance from Quicken Loans, you can quickly and easily put some of the equity in your home to good use by paying off a lot of that high-interest credit card debt. A great way to take cash out is with our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.5%, APR 4.78%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN to learn how taking cash out with a 30-year fixed mortgage might be the right solution for you. And for a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rates subject to change. Pay 2% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Talk radio that talks with you, not at you. Casey Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
You can do your thing, man. Just because the intro's playing doesn't mean I gotta be in here. I had to pee.
Where you were.
Uh-huh.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number, 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. And please put MNC at the beginning of that message. All right. You okay now? You okay? You good? I stressed him out a little bit. I disappeared, and the intro music was playing, and I wasn't back yet. Sorry. Sorry for making everybody nervous. Okay? But you got to listen to the stellar intro music. What's that?
You were gone. I couldn't ask Alex this question.
Oh. What was his question?
Okay. So was the California gun hoarding story government overreaching or actually illegal?
Okay. All right. First of all, I didn't read the article. I just know it happened. So let's just, all right. So California, let's do this now. Because everybody keeps asking me about this story. California gun confiscation thing. So this is this mansion or whatever that had over 1,000 guns in LA. Okay. So the Washington Post. Do I go to the Washington Post or go with CNN? Who is the lesser of evils here? I'm going to go guns.com. Wait, no, that's a bill. That's from 2 days ago. I thought it said 2 hours ago. Sorry. I figured I would just go with the people who are obviously going to be pro-gun on this. All right, so let's go to the Washington Post, because on guns, I think they're a little bit slightly more balanced than CNN. All right, more than 1,000 guns and massive piles of ammunition seized from a Los Angeles mansion. Okay. Initially, I'm looking at this, and I am just saying, one, I think he has a terrible collection, whoever this person is. Oh, the Washington Post is trying to get me to pay them money to read the story. Yeah, that's not going to happen, guys. I'm not going to pay you anything. Nobody wants to pay you to read their stuff. Just that simple. But, there's an aerial view, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, there's a lot of guns that, frankly, he should have invested in different firearms. Okay? If you're going to have 1,000 gun collection, I'm all for that. Just make it worthwhile. That's it. So this is in Bel Air. Bel Air's black neighborhood, isn't it? Is Bel Air a black neighborhood? No? I don't remember. There's a really rich neighborhood in L.A. that is predominantly black, and I'm probably just thinking Bel Air because of the stupid TV show, which, by the way, is one of the greatest shows of all time. Law enforcement officers in Los Angeles seized more than 1,000 guns from a Bel Air mansion on Wednesday after receiving an anonymous tip. The source alleged that an individual living in Holby Hills, a ritzy Los Angeles neighborhood, was illegally selling guns. What?
Bel Air is not a.
Okay, so I just did that because of the show.
It's like 90%
okay,
white.
There's a neighborhood in LA that is a wealthy black neighborhood, and the Bel Air jumped out at me because of the Fresh Prince, and that was stupid.
Which is
but it's not, because if you go back and you run through the show in your mind, it's like clearly that wasn't a black neighborhood, because that was part of the joke of the show that he was in Bel Air. He's totally does not fit in. So anyway, All right, so my apologies. If you do know what that neighborhood is, send it to me because now it's going to drive me absolutely bonkers, okay? So anyway, ritzy Los Angeles neighborhood was illegally selling guns, according to the Los Angeles Police Department. Oh, that's why he's got a terrible collection then. Early Wednesday, the LAPD and the ATF executed a search warrant at the North Beverly Glen Boulevard home and discovered a cache of guns. They arrested Gerard Damian Sayens, 56 years old. Aerial images show stockpiles of weapons, including hundreds of rifles and pistols, as well as ammo and manufacturing equipment. That means he had a 3D printer, probably. LAPD Lieutenant Chris Ramirez said during a news conference on Wednesday that he had never seen so many weapons in my career of 31 years. Well, you should have joined the military then. He called the arsenal astounding. That's not how I would label it. Although he does have some really high-end revolvers here. Holy smokes. They've got really good like heat bluing on them and oh man. Hey, you know what? Anybody in the LAPD wants to get me this one piece I'm looking at? Because that's an expensive firearm. I'll give you like a 3D printed trinket for that. ATF spokeswoman Ginger Colbran confirmed in a written statement that the agency suspected the man was conducting illegal firearms transactions outside the scope of the federal firearm license that the individual possesses. Wait a minute. We are missing crucial bits of information here. I think this is why the listener on my live stream is asking me this. Somebody calls up the authorities and says, my neighbor is selling guns out of his mansion. Okay, now if you have that tip, you have to do something to confirm that the information is correct before you get a search warrant and kick somebody's door in, right? But this person also has an FFL. So they're allowed to sell guns. But they're saying that they're selling them outside of the scope of their FFL. The Times reported that several locations were searched on Wednesday in addition to the Holby Hills home, which is nearby celebrity-studded streets that have housed Aaron I don't care who the celebrities are that live there. Okay, so is it illegal or is it government overreach? I'm going to lean towards government overreach. And I'm only leaning there with the caveat that I don't know what information was gathered beyond the original call, which was this tip that came into the line. Because if you can swat somebody so quick in LA, they're already leaning towards abusing their authority anyway. Now, I don't know if this person has actually done anything illegal. So the ATF is saying they have an FFL, so they're legally allowed to sell firearms. But they're saying that they're doing it outside of the scope. But the Washington Post article does not say what that means or how they would be selling outside of the scope of their license. So at this point in time, this is just not my wheelhouse. I don't know. I just feel like there's critical information. Oh, here we go. Gun store owner's calling me right now, so he might have the answer. Critical information is just missing from this, at least in this one article that I'm reading from the Washington Post, which is the Washington Post, so maybe they don't have all of the information given to them by the authorities as of yet. I'm not really sure. Len, do you have more information on this?
Yeah, Casey, not a whole lot regarding that particular instance, but
okay.
When you have an FFL, that FFL is relegated to a specific storefront address.
Okay.
And it's very, very seldom that a dealer can sell out of his home legally.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, a dealer can sell at a gun show because that is one of the allowed venues for using your license.
Okay.
But, the problem is this guy probably was selling guns out of his home instead of the retail business that the license.
So he's got the FFL, right? So he's got the FFL, but he's not selling out of a business address; he's selling out of the house.
Correct.
Okay, so now we need to figure out if he's actually doing this on a regular basis, or if he just had a friend say, "Can you sell me a gun?" and he did, which still could be illegal. But we got to figure out, I guess, how frequently this guy is breaching the law, if at all.
The normal course of events is when the ATF or the FBI receive such tip, they usually send an undercover agent and or.
That's what I would assume, but there's no mention of any of that. So.
Oh, they're not going to mention it. No.
Okay. All right. I would have assumed that they would have come out that, oh yeah, we got a tip, and then we send somebody, and yeah, he sold it to that person, so we did it. So okay.
That's highly unlikely. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. That makes perfect sense.
Thanks, Casey.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. All right. So he may very well be in violation of the law. Now, in Casey's the Overlord world, your house, do what you want. Okay? You can have as many guns as you want. You can sell them to anybody you want. That's Casey's world, but I am not the Overlord yet. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
On your radio at 95.3 FM, online at 953mnc.com.
That's another thing, Stymie, is what's the business address on the FFL?
Yeah.
Because if he says he's operating a home business and he's using his mansion's address, which I don't know if you can do. I've never had an FFL. Missing some info here. Oh, man, this revolver is beautiful, though. He's got a bunch of, like, dumpster guns, and then he just has this really high-end, and the police are treating it like it's a normal gun. What the hell is wrong with you people? You have any idea how expensive that finish is? They've got it just tossed in a pile of other guns. That is a high-end finish. It requires you to superheat the metal in different ways to get a rainbow effect.
And it's never going to see the light of day again?
No, they're going to melt it down and they're going to ruin it. Those bastards. I'm really pissed about that gun. It's the one gun I'm looking at that I'm like, hey, that's really expensive. Oh, man. Looks like it's got, like, some kind of a bone handle on it, too.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much.
Anyway. Jesus. Okay, so Warren's got the answer to that. Can't have an FFL for your residential address.
Let's have a beer. Today we are going to have an SPF from Goose Island.
Tracy says you couldn't tell I was upset.
Company, pride of Chicago.
I should have been more animated in my anger.
Beer that has been consistently good for a long time, and this year they've come out with a few new offerings. You've got the dry hoppy one too, the Next Coast IPA, which are both.
If I had more energy, I would actually post about how outraged I am over the treatment of that firearm. And I would share pictures, but I won't.
17 IBUs, so not really a ton of hops to it, but then it's got the hints of passion fruit and pineapple. Looking at it, great blonde color, nice head on it. This is a year-round beer with inspiration from summer. Drinking it is
I'm sorry, but that was too much for me. That's the first time I've noticed it. Great blonde color with good head on it. Okay. Oh my.
A number of different fruits, hints of guava, mango mixed in there too. And when you taste
Casey went to a bad place.
Passion fruit on its own, passion fruit, dragon fruit, some of those more exotic fruits, when you actually try them by themselves, they are not very sweet.
What's that?
Dragon fruit, passion fruit, some of those more exotic fruits. I don't think they're that exotic.
Dragon fruit used to be, but now everybody's growing the damn thing. I love dragon fruit. Real dragon fruit, just on its own. That's good stuff, man.
This has been Chris's Craft Corner.
It helps that vitamin water has That's my favorite.
Yeah, well, it made its way into a lot of teas and things like that, and really gained popularity there. But not a lot of people have had the fruit, and that's kind of the point that he was making.
Did you know that not only has Afton been voted the top dentist in Michiana?
Okay, so Kimber used to be really bad, but they've made some really, really good strides over the past several years, and I know a lot of people who love them. So it just kind of depends on what you're getting. I know people that are absolute Kimber fans, and I know people who are still sour on them from the early days, but all you can do is try it, man. If you find one that has good reviews, People seem to like it, and if you like it, then you're good to go. But I would check reviews, just to make sure. Even great manufacturers are going to have some duds, Walder occasionally will put out a crap one, but Walder's a great company.
in Mishawaka.
Wouldn't it be great to see your windows in a whole
Now, I will say I kind of agree with Warren here on them being overrated. They have like Apple, they kind of have like a fanboy status with a lot of people. So, like I said, just use the reviews, man. If the price is right, the fit's right, it works for you, get it.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. There's a reason why Budget Blinds is the #1 provider of custom.
I'm not a brand fanboy when it comes to firearms. I like all sorts of different ones. There are companies that I know that consistently put out really good products, and so I will gravitate to them first just because I know that they make good stuff. But I'm not one of those people that's like, you have to buy this brand or that brand. Pretty much everybody makes something worth at least checking out.
My family's health is important to me, so I choose NHS for quality healthcare we can count on. Plus, I can earn dollar rewards for doing healthy things like getting my health screening and taking my kids for regular checkups. NHS helps me stay focused on what matters most, my family. I keep my family healthy, and NHS rewards me. It's all part of my plan.
Visit mhsindiana.com or call 1-877-6
Storefront Garage.
to learn more.
He was deaf. I have not had any experience with Raytheon, but I know people who love them. So. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. I hate not being able to let my bumper music play the way it's supposed to play. Because I get hit with a copyright violation. There's 2 weeks. Oh, by the way, like YouTube just released a bunch of copyright violations. Again, from like a couple of weeks ago. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're totally right. You didn't violate any copyrights. Yeah, I know I didn't. Stop flagging me for the same songs. Anyway. Might be slightly irritable today. Maybe just a smidgen. I'm still upset that they're going to destroy that beautiful revolver with that finish that was found at that guy's mansion in L.A. Anyway, 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. I think I will calm down if I stop talking about exciting things and start talking about boring things. So let's talk about Pete Buttigieg. So Pete Buttigieg is boring, according to a news article. So the Daily Wire published this. They're not the ones calling him boring, okay? Is Pete Buttigieg's fledgling campaign for president already over? The mayor of South Bend, Indiana, the first openly gay contender for a presidential nomination, enjoyed, I like how she said openly gay, because there's been a couple of commander-in-chiefs that, things happen behind the closed door. Enjoyed an extended honeymoon period with the press, landing on the cover of Time, and even featuring a high-profile fashion magazines. But in recent days, Buttigieg's star power seems to have waned, and even mainstream media commentators have been souring on, quote, Mayor Pete. On Wednesday, Today's Show host Craig Melvin, don't trust people with 2 first names, predicted an unceremonious and premature end to Buttigieg's campaign, labeling the upstart, quote, boring. Okay, can I just say this, though? What a world we live in where we are deciding whether or not somebody should be president of the United States and lead the country based on whether or not they're entertaining. Right? Okay, now Donald Trump is entertaining as heck. Don't get me wrong. Joe doesn't think so. I enjoy the heck out of that guy. I think he's just funny. Mostly because I know when he's going to do something. I think I've kind of picked up on the patterns, and it's just, he never lets me down. So I know there's always a joke coming.
Yeah, Pete's boring. We know that. Everybody knows he's a boring guy. That doesn't mean he's a bad guy. It's not meant to be an insult. He's just a boring dude. He doesn't do anything fun. He's not exciting at all. His husband says he's a hoarder. So I mean, he's just a boring guy. You don't meet a lot of guys like Mayor Pete who last long on a national level because, quite frankly, he's kind of boring, Melvin said. Let's see. Today's show just aired a clip of Buttigieg speaking in South Carolina. So basically, he's given a snore fest, and this Melvin dude comes on and says, yeah, he's boring. We've seen this from time to time in our politics. There's a man or a woman who manages to capture our attention and then they fizzle, they fade, they peter out. Ha, ha, ha. Get what he did there? Get what he did there? They peter out. So Melvin then asked, what's different this time? Well, he's not the only one because the Boston Globe weighed in and they called Pete Buttigieg remarkably unremarkable. Huh. Buttigieg has been particularly successful at raising money. Again, he's got the Chicago machine behind him, pulling in hundreds of thousands from Silicon Valley and Hollywood fundraisers. By the way, did you see that he's going to, I'm going to pull this up here in a second. He's going to this fundraiser with this Hollywood director who said that every Trump voter is a low-life piece of bleep. So I thought Mayor Pete was supposed to be running a campaign that was different than that, huh? Anyway, let's see. Silicon Valley Hollywood fundraisers in the last week, but at the same time, voter interest in Buttigieg has waned per Real Clear Politics tracking polls, falling from a peak of 8%, which put him into contention with Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senator Kamala Harris, back down to just a little more than 6%, placing him solidly in the second string of potential Democratic nominees. Newspapers have also begun questioning why Buttigieg is getting national attention when his campaign is, by the numbers, still well behind those of more established candidates. That's I've been telling you that for a long time. Gee, anybody have any ideas as to why he might be getting more attention than some of the campaigns that are doing better statistically? Anyone? Could it be the cover of Time magazine, where they had him and his husband on there and said "First Family"? Could it be that they were pushing that narrative? On Thursday, the New York Times questioned why Buttigieg was appearing on magazine covers and scoring key interviews when Kamala Harris, who has long been a frontrunner of the 2020 Democratic nomination and who outraised Buttigieg by millions in the first quarter, is being almost completely ignored. It also appears that a signal has gone out authorizing mainstream media outlets who just last week were writing glowing stories about Buttigieg's attractive family and one-eyed rescue dog to criticize his campaign. NBC News, for example, published a hit piece Thursday morning taking Buttigieg to task for having a comprehensive health care plan, which is scant on details, by the way. So it can't be really a comprehensive health care plan if it's scant on details, that would offer health care even to illegal immigrants, but failing to offer his own staffers a paid health care option. Which a listener actually sent me a text message about earlier today. Buttigieg seems to have noticed just this week he began taking more aggressive positions on the campaign trail. Do you remember last week? Was it the beginning of last week, I believe, where we had the story that said people were starting to see little cracks forming. People in the media were going, Pete Buttigieg is the only candidate without a platform. He's not the only candidate without a platform, but they said that. They said he's the only candidate that doesn't have a platform. And he doesn't. He doesn't have a platform. But you can win by not having a platform. If you don't have a platform, people can't attack your platform, right? If you put things on your website, then people can attack it. So you keep things off of your website. Obama learned that lesson early on with his whole youth army thing that he did. All right. Which a lot of people still don't even remember. Younglings out there who weren't politically active in his first campaign don't even remember what I'm talking about. They think I'm nuts. But it was all true, ladies and gentlemen. He's also noticed that his base, while energized, is not exactly diverse. At a town hall in South Carolina this week, he begged supporters to help him court minority voters. ABC News reports, especially in states like South Carolina, where a diverse base of support is key to winning delegates. So it was kind of interesting. Remember when he went to was it South Carolina to court minority voters? And then I jokingly said, because there's none left in South Bend. Because it's like, if you can't get minority voters in your own city, the heck are you going to the Carolinas to get them for? they don't know who you are yet, you know? So it's going to take some time for all of that stuff to happen. But he was criticized right off the get-go for being too white. Now, he might be a gay guy, ladies and gentlemen, but Mayor Buttigieg is anything but the stereotypical wealthy white dude, right? That's just who he is. All right. It's not a knock on him. I'm not attacking him for that. You are who you are. That's how he was raised. That's how he presents himself. He's, clean cut, pasty white dude. Okay. I don't have an issue with that, but a lot of people in the country do have an issue with that. And so if you're going to be out there and you're going to be courting minority voters, it's a little difficult for you to connect with them when you are the stereotype of the people who live in the very big house in a neighborhood that other people don't go to. So that's going to be something he's going to have to overcome. So we'll see if he can do it. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. MNC News Time is 5:32. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
Missile launcher. Somebody had me at missile launcher. Yeah, the AC is working. They got it fixed today. Feels good in here. Joe's in a jacket. I'm in my t-shirt. It's good stuff.
The measure would also allow construction of 2 new casinos to help Indiana
with
casino gambling in neighboring states. Indiana joins 8 other states that have made the move since the U.S. Supreme Court decision, which allowed...
Hells yeah, pro gambling. I'll take calls on it.
Michiana's news channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
Unsafe, so the investigation still has not begun. The fire Monday afternoon began near the center of the building, traveled into the attic, and spread out across the entire structure, according to the Mishawaka fire marshal. He told the South Bend Tribune that the investigation is going to be a process, especially since the scene is still too unsafe to enter. All of the residents escaped the building safely, but one firefighter was treated for smoking.
2A Arms deals with who?
Okay, sir.
Causing firefighters to return to the scene. And tomorrow afternoon is the deadline for those who are interested in attending the Academy at the Clay Fire Territory.
Second Amendment deals with the garage door guy. Who's a-hole and why they a-hole?
Oh, nothing important. Doesn't really matter.
Just say it. Come on, man. We like knowing who a-holes are.
Just some dude who's saying that because Pete's gay in his name, that people would make fun of him across the world because no one's mature.
Okay.
My son's a very good person. Works very hard. The last thing
We can't have a president whose name you can make fun of. Okay. I mean, Bill Clinton was Slick Willie forever, so. All right. I think this is Frozone.
Follow regular order and ensure the nonpartisan administration of justice.
Yeah, buddy.
Stein is leaving his post tomorrow. This is Fox News.
Weather served up by the Prime Table. Give your mom a real treat. Let Prime Table Restaurant and Niles do the cooking. Large parties welcome. Call and make your reservations for Mother's Day today.
All right, I got the story I teased. It's cool, and then I'm going to talk about the Chicago Cubs being stupid. The Chicago Cubs banned a guy for doing the OK symbol.
We'll top out with a high of 54. Maybe a little patchy frost Friday night. Lows could dip into the 30s. Saturday, partly cloudy with a high of 62. In the ABC 57 first morning.
That's just it, Happy. People been asking for a long time to have a dude like that.
This week to experience the unmatched style of Temper Grill. Seating is limited. Call or visit tempergranger.com.
So I know Warren has already weighed in on the Army uniform change. The Army's changing their dress uniforms. I think it's a great change because I always hated those old green ones that I had. Warren doesn't like it because he's got to shell out money to pay for the new ones, which is fair.
Yeah.
But as far as the aesthetic, I dig it, man. They're going back to the World War II style with the browns and everything. I freaking love it. I think it's great. But that's just me.
Reservations required. 21 and up. Explore our menu.
Exactly what the New York Times called it. Stand out the Army fixed a new uniform with a World War II look.
That's it. They're going back to World War II. Pretty close. Now I think they look sharp as hell.
They do look good.
I hated the old green dress shirt, the friggin' mint green dress shirt, and the weird forest green jacket. I hated it. It was weird. It didn't feel military like. The only time you felt good was when you're in your blues. But
The average 30-year fixed rate down for the second straight week. It's now at 4.1%. Last year this time it was more than 4.5%. And a lot of drivers are getting gassed up to.
yeah, the blues are great, man. The blues are awesome. But as far as your day-to-day stuff, I dig the new dress uniforms. I really do.
Forget kids, parents might want to start limiting their own screen time. New research from the Entertainment Software Association shows the average American who plays video games 33.
I will notice of the 4 individuals who are photographed with their uniforms, only the women's ribbons are showing. Sexist. Misandrous bullcrap. Why aren't you showing the guys' ribbons, huh?
Pick your delivery date and send mom a dozen assorted roses for just $19.99, or double the roses and get a premium glass vase for $9.99 more. To get
Army
this amazing
green
deal, hurry to
uniforms were very
proflowers.com. Click
expensive.
on the microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 5757. Proflowers.com, code 5757.
Are you in dire need of a backyard makeover? Does your
Yeah,
landscape need a pick-me-up?
that's terrible.
Stone has the landscaping stone supplies you need.
Enlisted people aren't, they don't get them for free, do they? Do they get them for free now? I had to pay for mine. Because if they get them for free, them spoiled, rotten little turds. I remember getting my first Army check. I was still at basic. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so awesome. It was like, I don't know, it was like $13 or something. Because I buy all my equipment.
This Sunday, and ProFlowers is offering an amazing special. 1 dozen assorted roses for mom for $19.99. And as a special bonus, double the roses and get a premium vase for just $9.99 more. Go to proflowers.com, click on the blue microphone, and
I hated the friggin' beret controversy. Oh my God, that pissed me off so much. I'm sorry, Rangers will always have black. They will always be seen in my eyes as having black berets. Just making the black beret the standard beret of the Army was a shitty move.
1 dozen
What a
assorted
load of
roses sent
crap.
fresh from the farms and guaranteed to stay fresh and beautiful for at least 7 days, starting at $19.99, or double.
You get an
the roses and
allowance
get a
now?
premium vase
Damn.
for just $9.99 more. Order now because Mother's Day
Y'all are
is this
spoiled
Sunday.
now.
The only
Got
way
out
to
too
get
early,
this
Casey.
deal
You
is
got
to
out
go
too
to
early.
I know, right?
Click on the microphone in the upper right corner and enter
I didn't get no damn
code
allowance.
1717. That's proflowers.com, secret code 1717.
They look sharper, though. They look much better.
And answering the call, protecting and serving as a member of our armed forces. Now the state of Indiana wants to honor our vets. The new Next Level Veterans website provides job opportunities, job training, and the Honor Our Vets Homebuyer program, specifically designed to keep and welcome qualified active duty, veterans, and retired.
I am open about my feelings tonight. Shit. We gotta fix that.
Go to in.gov/veterans. Sponsored by the Indiana Health.
I was really tired before I got in here. I tried to lay down and take a little nap. My 2-year-old wouldn't let me. All of a sudden, I got a wind of energy.
Michiana's News Channel. Casey Hendrickson.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95, 95.3. That is 2595-953. Again, our sponsor is Second Amendment Arms and Range. And you know what? I was just thinking the other day, too, that I had to start mentioning that they do firearm repair and restoration. And I didn't. I was thinking to myself to do it, and I forgot about it. And then somebody sent me a text today and said that they had an old Derringer that they needed to have refurbed. And they asked if Second Amendment could help them with that. And I assume that they can, because I've seen Paul do it. And I was just thinking the other day, as we were moving, I ran into an old rifle that we have that really needs work. And I'm like, you know what? I should probably take this over to Second Amendment and have them just refurb this thing. So we have a little varmint rifle around or something. But I hadn't done it. So it reminded me when they sent me that text. One, I was able to help them out because I assume that Paul will be able to help them because he has done it before and he does it on a regular basis. And for those of you out there who might be needing some repairs or some upgrades or maybe a good cleaning or any of that, they can help you at Second Amendment Arms and Range. Go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information and contact info. So I teased yesterday that I was going to talk about this guy who is a good Samaritan. Now, this should be a lesson to all of you. Don't be a good Samaritan. Stop helping your fellow man, okay? No good deed goes unpunished. An Australian man falsely accused of sexual assault after helping a woman with her broken down car is learned. Okay? Guys, you can help people. Don't get me wrong. Just only help other men. Don't help women. Women, you got to learn to do it on your own, okay? Not our fault. All right? You chose this path. You chose to basically make us a target anytime we come in contact with you. So guys are just going to have to stay away from you. 36-year-old Keenan Basic spent weeks in jail, lost his relationship, and was repeatedly slandered after a woman falsely accused him of sexual misconduct. According to Australia-based 7 News, Basic was accused of indecently assaulting and stalking Caitlin Gray, a 19-year-old woman, after he stopped to help her when her car broke down late last year. You imagine this crap? You break down, okay? You know how difficult it is to get somebody to stop and help you if you break down? Well, I don't know what this girl looks like. Maybe not too difficult for her. But for the average Joe, this is a difficult thing to get somebody to do. So this guy, don't look at me like that, Joe. You know darn well if somebody looks like Kelly Bundy, everybody stops. Let's talk about that pay gap, okay? A guy's on the side of the road, nobody stops. A woman's on the side of the road, she looks good, everybody stops. She has so many people stopping to help her, there's too many people helping her, and it's actually a negative. So there was a girl, she posted a meme. She was in she was in an engineering class. And you know, engineers, there's like one girl for every like 30 guys or something, right? And she posted, she goes, guess which girl's the pretty girl in the class? And she was sitting by herself, and the other girl had like 10 guys around her. Just looking over, trying to help her with a problem, as I felt so bad for this girl. But it was funny. It was really funny. Guess who the good-looking girl in the class is? Anyway, so this woman has a car breakdown, and somebody was nice enough to not blow by her and leave her stranded. Stopped for her. And then she accuses the guy of assaulting her. Like, there's got to be some extra bad karma coming her way, right? There has to be. Basic, that's the guy. Basic apparently spent 2 hours fixing her vehicle. 2 hours. 2 hours. As shown by surveillance footage, the smiling pair seem happy, hugging after the car is fixed and eventually parting ways. But according to the news station, Gray told police that Basic had allegedly propositioned her for sex in return for his help before he pursued her in the car and later indecently assaulted her at a different location, according to authorities. They then called his behavior predatory. Months later, however, the truth about the incident finally came out. Basic never assaulted the woman. The 19-year-old confessed to police during an interrogation that she fabricated evidence and made up the assault whole cloth. So this guy stops, takes 2 hours out of his day to help you when you're in need, and you do this to him. All charges against him have been dismissed. Gray is now the one with the legal issues, charged with contempt of court, fabricating evidence, and lying to law enforcement. My client and his family are extremely happy about the outcome, said Mona El Baba, the lawyer representing Basic. He has always maintained his innocence. He's always said that he's not guilty in the charges and has vigorously denied the allegations. I understand that there was some CCTV footage which contradicted her version, and the police obtained that footage by mere luck after we asked the police to investigate the matter further, and they did. By the way, good on the police department. It's an extraordinary outcome for my client. Justice has been served, and we are very happy with the outcome. Let's see. They asked him, he's on his way out, and the reporters were asking him how he felt, and he says, finally, this is over, so I am very happy. So he doesn't have a criminal record. He's never been in jail before. Look, I mean, this is a guy who stopped to help a young woman in trouble, and she has him thrown behind bars, ruins his relationship. Okay, and by the way, dude, do not take that woman back. When she comes crawling back and apologizing to you, accept the apology and kick her out of your way. You keep her away from you because she didn't believe him. She didn't believe him. And I'm not saying that I believe her for not taking the risk. I'm just saying he can't be with her. They will never have that trust, ever. Okay? So there's no reason to even take her back. So he's totally innocent. Dude just stops to help a young woman in trouble. 2 hours, he fixes her car, gets it on the way, and she throws him behind bars with a false accusation. Unfortunately, I have like 6 or 7 of these stories over the past 2 weeks. 574-2595, 95.3. The Chicago Cubs suck. I'll tell you why, coming up on 95.3 MNC.
KC Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Weather served up by the Prime Table Restaurant in Niles. Does your family or group meet regularly?
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Just call the Prime Table to reserve tables for your next gathering.
Alrighty.
Woo!
Shivas. So Tracy had asked, well, one, she had said that I need to kill some people. Yes. And then she asked when my internet was going to be turned back on, and it is scheduled to be turned on at the new house on Tuesday.
And you move in, like,
Well, we're thinking midweek. Yeah. So I'm getting the power and everything turned on Tuesday.
so all the utilities will be up and running on Tuesday.
Well, I got to get the gas situated, but I couldn't do it online.
No, usually you have to be there to fix things physically. Oh, come on.
They were asking me all sorts of weird ass questions too, like just unusual questions. I've never had NIPSCO before, so
Talk to Casey.
it's strange.
Can I ask what you're calling about, please? Do you want to take callers on the topic?
I'll take them on there, sure.
Right. Can I get your first name, please?
No internet, no beer, make Casey something something. I've actually had a fair amount of beer over the past couple of weeks. I have had 3 kinds of beer in the house. If Dean pops onto the live stream, I have Dean's beer, but nobody lets me leave the house on time to get him his beer. And then when I leave and I bring Bree to school, I tend to have to run out of the house because Bree is slow, and I forget his beer. His beer is sitting by my door because I owed him some stouts.
And you got that really nice whiskey for the.
Yep, I've got the double black Johnny Walker. That was my payment for doing the Lincoln Day dinner. Yeah. I've had more beer over the past month than I have had in the previous 6. What company for internet? There is only one company for internet here, folks. Unless
it's one or the other.
It's one, or you have to be in one of the areas that you have fiber. And
that, or you go through your phone provider. Because a lot of people have AT&T internet.
Oh yeah. But AT&T internet is garbage unless it's fiber. Like, it's slow. You might as well be DSL, and DSL is crap. So there is only Xfinity. There is no other internet.
Xfinity, Frontier's actually slightly popular, but their internet.
They have terrible customer reviews.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, I know, but they're cheap.
They are cheap.
That's why it's in my house. horrible.
I have 250 meg speeds, and that is my minimum. So,
I would like to have decent internet.
so you have fiber in that neighborhood, Tracy? We couldn't get fiber in mine. And we were across the damn street from each other. Ugh.
It's a lot like, sounds a little bit like district.
Nope, there's no fiber available where I'm at. I looked. No fiber. So Xfinity is the best I got. We're going with I&M for electric, NIPSCO with gas. I guess they can do power too at NIPSCO, but I didn't know that until after I transferred it over.
5850.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Do they want to call about the last topic or the Cubs topic?
The topic that we just closed. The
last
helping,
topic.
the helping.
Yeah, don't help people. Got it. All right. Eric, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, Casey.
What's up?
I want to talk to you about people helping out of the people along the side of the road.
Yeah.
My wife used to deliver mail for the post office out of our own vehicle.
Uh-huh.
You know, several flat tires throughout the year. It's just part of the job. She was always amazed at the amount of people that would not stop and help her with a flat tire. And she would come home and talk to me about it. And I would just tell her, I'd say, look, I said, people don't want to be shut up. You know, they see you along the road. They, you know, maybe you have a flat tire, maybe you don't. And maybe when they bend over to start helping out with your flat tire, you'll whack them in the head, or your boyfriend will, and maybe he won't. And they're just, you know, there's just so many weirdos out there and so many setups. I said, and that's really the reason why I don't think you get very much help.
Well, let's not forget there were several serial killers who did this. And, you know, go back to the 70s and 80s, there was a few serial killers who did this. And so people really stopped dealing with hitchhikers, and they stopped, helping people on the side of the road. So typically what you're supposed to do now is if you see somebody on the side of the road is you just call the police and let them know that somebody's stuck on the side of the road, and they'll get road services out there. That's what you're supposed to do, rather than just blowing by somebody and leaving them. But yeah, I mean, it's, I understand her frustration because sure, we all want somebody to stop and help us, but at the same time, do you really want to put yourself in a position to become a victim? And, you know, this guy for 2 hours of his life helped a young woman out.
Right.
She liked it. She gave him a hug and everything. And here, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she had propositioned him and he said, no, I'm taken, because remember, he was in a relationship, and that's where the whole he sexually assaulted me thing came from.
Right. Yeah, very well could be.
She did give him a hug on the surveillance footage.
Right.
So,
yeah. I know if I'm going to help anybody out nowadays, and it's been this way for a long time, I take a good look around the area and just see, is there a ditch nearby? Is there a bunch of trees nearby? Anything like that to where someone could be hiding. And if there's a chance that somebody could be hiding somewhere, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Yeah,
if a wide open.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Call the authorities or get out of your vehicle, knock them out, then help them. And when they wake up, their car will be fixed.
Well, I never really considered that. But,
see?
Yeah, just for,
We have a new trend, everybody, and you just leave a little polite note. Sorry to knock you out. I didn't want to become a victim, so your car's fixed.
Your tire is fixed now. So I love it, man. That's great.
All right, buddy. You take care, man.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. Yep, bye.
You know, a Utah man was just killed after a false sexual assault allegation. Now, this was in Logan, in Utah. So his name is Michael Fife. He died on April 27th. He was being treated for injuries sustained in a revenge attack. He was accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old aboard a transit district bus at around 3 p.m. on April 23rd, according to police. And shortly after the alleged incident on the bus, the 16-year-old girl called her 17-year-old brother and claimed that he had sexually assaulted her. So minutes later, when Fife got off of the bus, the 17-year-old brother was there and attacked him. He hit him, knocked him down, and then he suffered head injuries when he hit the sidewalk. When detectives reviewed the surveillance footage of the alleged sexual assault, they said that the video showed Mr. Fife walking past the girl and never assaulted her in any way. So he just walked by her. She claimed that he assaulted her, called her brother. Her brother hits him when he gets off of the bus. He has no idea what's going on. Hits him, and he falls back and he hits his head. And he dies as he's dead, okay, because a 16-year-old girl lied about him. There was a story that I covered a few years back where a wife accused the neighbor of sexually assaulting her, called her husband. Her husband went over, beat the tar out of this guy, killed him. Wife lied. Never happened. Never happened. So things like this, it happens all the time. You got to be so careful. All right, so Chicago Cubs have banned this fan. Did you see this? Did you see the story? So a fan at Wrigley Field did the okay gesture behind a reporter. Yeah, okay. So now the reporter, okay, people have been falsely reporting that this is a white supremacist symbol. It's not, okay? There's a very specific symbol that is similar to the OK symbol that is used by white supremacists. It's on the ADL's website, okay? Go to their website and you can see what it is. The OK symbol is trying to make you look so they can punch you in the arm. That's what it is. And people slip it in everywhere. This is the game. That is the whole point of the game. Yes! It's upside down, okay? So you slip it in everywhere, all right? That's the whole point. The whole point is to make you look. Made you look. I get to punch you in the arm, okay? So he did that behind a reporter who was reporting from Wrigley Field, and he did it, but the reporter is black. So because the reporter is black and the fan is white, the fan must be a white supremacist, not playing a game that kids play. No, must be a white supremacist. So he has been not fired because he's not doesn't work for them. He has been banned permanently from Wrigley Field. We were giving away tickets to that game in this building. They had tickets available for us. I could have been there that night. Could have been there that night. You know what would happen? Conservative radio talk shows in the same stadium at the same time that a white supremacist did the OK symbol behind a black reporter. He must be fired too. What had Al Sharpton outside and everything? All right, so Clay Travis, I think, is the best tweet on this. The Cubs have banned a fan for life for trying to make you look so he can punch you in the arm. This country has gone absolutely insane. Banned for life. Banned for life. Sean Hannity is up next. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Twitch at Casey the Host. You have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow.
She's the one who changed your dirty diapers. She's the one who picked up your...
You don't know that Mom picked up the damn toys. Sometimes it's Dad. Okay? Jesus. And sometimes nobody picks up the toys. And they just live on the ground. It's my house. We get so tired of picking them up. God.
This is why you teach your children as soon as they can walk to pick up their toys.
Dude, we have tried. Harper's actually fairly good at it. Bree is just she's an animal. She's an absolute animal.
Like the new Kirk kids.
She is just the slowest creature on earth.
I once, after cleaning up my room, I did like one of the things where cartoon characters go just throw things.
Yeah.
Looking for something. I did that one time. I think what I was looking for was all the way on the bottom.
Of course.
Awesome.
What a friggin' world, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. Hey, I'll take Gun Show, too. Gun Show works. Discord meme channel. All right, hold up. Let me go look. So we're picking up the new couch on Sunday, and we're just going to take it over to the new house along with one of our TVs, and then the internet will be turned on Tuesday. So there will be functional entertainment at the new house for the kids. So that'll make things a lot easier. Scrolling down. Oh my God. Happy chickenpox anniversary, Casey. Jesus. Is it? Oh, that's right. Mother's Day is when I got the chickenpox.
Oh.
Yep. That was my mom's Mother's Day present when I was 7, maybe 8. No, we were in Burbank. We were not in Chicago yet. 6 or 7. I was 6 or 7 years old when I did it. Thank you, B-Dubs. Thank you, Happy. Couch before internet. You can't really enjoy the internet without a damn couch. Okay, so couch story. So the house that we're staying in right now, 10,000 square foot homeless encampment. Well, it's that 7,000 above ground, 3,000 in the nuclear bunker. So he's got these really nice couches in the living room. And the style of the couches I don't really like. They're brown and tan and all that, but I love the couches. They're those reclining couches.
Oh,
okay.
Those.
And I have wanted these forever. They got the drink holders built in the middle.
Oh,
and
it is.
I mean,
couch. That thing is
it's
chair.
Yeah, it's basically
extended.
Chairs that are just hooked together. Yeah, it's just friggin' awesome. So I've always wanted like theater seating instead of a couch, but we've never had it. So I had a recliner chair that I bought for the last house. We sold it because I didn't have a place to put it in storage because we had to move in 2 days. So I lost my chair. So I don't have a damn chair now. So we go and we're sitting on these couches, and all of a sudden we start finding out that we really like couches that recline. So when it comes to buying a couch, this of course means that the price of your couch goes up a minimum of $300. Okay, for the cheap stuff. If you want to get powered stuff, it's like an extra $1,000, right? Well, I don't know. Some of them are pretty smooth. We had a couple of pretty good ones.
If the motor dies.
If the motor dies, you're right. It's an issue. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So my wife found a bunch of couches on various websites in a couple of different places. We were looking at the colors we want. She originally approached me about a blue couch because we got gray walls. And I'm like, I don't know. Blue is like, it's such a fad. It's going to go out of style. I don't know. So we started looking at a gray that would go really well with the house.
Why not do black?
I like black. She doesn't like black couches. She doesn't want to do leather or anything like that. She's so worried about them puncturing. We used to have fake leather couches, and then our old dog would puncture it with her nails. And so she's like, we got these kids. It's just going to be a whole thing. And so anyway, we fall in love with reclining couches. She's shopping for couches. We find couches that are really good price. A really good price couch at Ashley. It was like $900 and really good couch, great color. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I came real close to pulling the trigger that day, and then she told us it's like 2 to 6 weeks for delivery. So at that point, my wife is like, I am not buying a couch and not having a place to sit when we move into this place.
Do the launcher thing.
I was like, yeah. He was like, well, we can always just go over to Big Lots and buy a cheap one because we need another couch for downstairs anyway. And she's like, all right, maybe we'll do that. We have to go see if we can find one at Big Lots. Well, anyway, we went to dinner. That was on our anniversary. That's what we did for our anniversary. We bought couches. So then we went to dinner and didn't go look at Big Lots for a cheap couch that day. The next day, she's sending me messages while I'm here doing the show. That's Tuesday. And she has a blue couch that has all but one of the spaces were recliners. I don't know why one wasn't a recliner. I have no clue. It's an L shape.
Oh, it's an L shape?
So it's an L shape.
What?
So it's a
Was it
sectional.
the corner? What space was it a recliner?
I'm not counting the corner.
Okay, so the corner.
So the corner doesn't, and then the one just to the left of the corner does not recline. The two on the short side recline, and then the one on the end of the long side reclines. Why not make them all recline? I don't know if it was a space thing, because the legs would come out and hit each other. That's the only thing I can think of, is that
that's probably
they would hit each
exactly
other.
what it is. Because
it's the only thing I can think of, right?
They all reclined, they would hit each other.
Right. So it was just a little weird, right? But it was blue.
So it was the color you were looking for.
Well, it's the one that she was originally looking for that I had talked her out of. So anyway, she finds a couple of other couches. They're good prices. They're better gray couches than what we had found before. And I'm like, all right, go and pull the trigger. And then I look at the tag and I said, wait a minute. I said, hold on a second. I said, that reclining couch, because at this point if I'm going to pay $900 to $1,100 for a couch, and I have a couch that doesn't recline and a couch that does, I'm taking the couch that reclines. That was just where my mindset was.
Which is reasonable.
Okay. The blue couch was like $7. She sent me the wrong angle for the price. So the price was $8.99, but that was for a different thing. The couch had $6.99 on it. I said, so you're telling me that we can get a couch in the size that we want, in the shape that we want, that has 3 recliners, but it's blue? And she goes, yeah, they say they can get gray. Cool.
How long would it take to get gray?
Well, and that was the next thing, is how long would it take? Talk to him about it. The guy says if I do gray, it has to be upgraded to the power reclining option. So it goes from $7 to like $1,100. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to spend that much money for a reclining couch, because now I know that I have options under $1,000. So I said, just get the damn blue couch. So we got a blue reclining couch coming. So it'll work in the space. And if I get sick and tired of it, I'm taking it downstairs into the basement where it doesn't matter. But it's got recliners on it. That's the thing. So I got a $700 reclining couch that we're picking up on Sunday. Ashley had a really good site, because we went next door. That was Art Van. My wife, I think she got this at Value City. I think that's where she got the couch. But Art Van had some good stuff too. And they were very nice over there. But we went next door to Ashley just because we wanted to shop around a little bit. And Ashley had really good prices, and they had a great selection, and the lady was very helpful. And like I said, they had the couch that I was going to buy, which is a really good deal. It's a $900 couch, and it was awesome. But it didn't recline. So for $200 less, I got a reclining couch. So hails yeah. So Frank, no joke, I brought up the inflatable furniture thing. I said, if we can get an inflatable couch for a week or two, I'm okay. My wife would not go for that. I'm like, it's just a friggin' inflatable couch. First of all, those things are comfortable. Okay? And it's just an inflatable couch.
The little,
I lived a whole year in my first apartment with inflatable furniture. It was great. Until it popped.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If/when it pops.
Oh, well, I mean, I've got 2 kids now. They'll totally pop. Ooh, finally got some Black Rifle, huh, Corey? You should have used my coupon code, man. I could have got you 20% off. If anybody orders Black Rifle for the first time, let me know. I'll give you a coupon code, and then you can get 20% off. I think once you order, you can't do it, though. So, but I'm glad. So what kind did you get? There is no cheap kind. They're all the same price. I haven't had those sofas that use a steel frame. Are those better? Okay, so with the Ashley Furniture one, this is one of the reasons that we were going to buy it. It doesn't use the spring system.
Oh, good.
So they had a... My 6-year-old will not stop jumping on the couch. Like, she's going to get thrown through a window if she jumps on these recliners. They use a different system that the springs don't fail. And there's like some 5-year or 7-year warranty or something like that on the couch. And she pulled the cushions off and showed it to us. And it was like a totally different support system. So she's like, so that's one of the reasons we're going to get it. First of all, it was a really nice couch. But for $900 to have something that will hold up to the kids with a warranty was awesome. So
they're in, by the way.
Okay. Got the 10% military. Cool. I don't think I've actually had that one. I think it's a new flavor. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, bonus content coming up right now. Where's the thing that I wanted to talk
think he
about?
really has to defend it. I don't think a lot of people were opposed to it.
Opposed to what?
The gambling bill.
I mean, there's
the gambling bill.
There's in the religious belt, there's a bunch of people who are opposed to it, but
we're like just north of that, right?
Yeah, we still get a little bleed over from it, but
a little.
I mean, as far as the anti-gambling stuff,
Gambling part of it is slight bleed over.
I used to go round and round with Jake Teshka about it. I'm like, dude, I promise it's not. Gambling, having a casino in South Bend is not going to do what people say it's going to do. It's going to be good. And lo and behold, Casey was right. Okay, hold on. I had the story here. I just want to make sure I pull it up. There we go. All right. Casey Hendrickson here. Should a bartender be responsible? Hold on. Why don't you do that again? Weird pauses. Casey Hendrickson here. Should a bartender be responsible if somebody they served alcohol to becomes a killer? Friday, 3 to 6 on 95.3 MNC. Because they was arrested for it.
Casey Hendrickson here. Should a bartender
She's too cute to be in jail.
if somebody they serve alcohol to becomes a killer?
It was like the wording on that sounds weird, so I was like, maybe you should redo it.
You want to do it again? Does it sound okay, or should I do it again?
Casey Hendrickson here. Should a bartender be responsible if somebody they serve alcohol
Yeah, let's do it
to
again.
becomes a killer?
Let's do it again.
I just wanted to sound smoother. More, I don't know how to explain what I want, but just do it again and don't make it.
Just tell me when to go.
Just
Tell me when to go.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Go.
Casey Hendrickson here. A bartender was arrested because a person they served alcohol to killed somebody. Friday, 3 to 6 on 95.3 MNC.
Because you were giving me weird luck.
Should I also include the she's too pretty to be in jail bit? And she's too pretty to be in jail.
Let's not.
She could be in a TV show about jail.
What the hell? Oh. That's fine.
Casey Hendrickson here. A bartender was arrested because a person they served alcohol to killed somebody. Friday, 3 to 6 on 95.3 MNC.
That'll work, Johnny.
Yeah, so I'm really weird about used couches, and I won't touch a used bed. Like, I'm not a germaphobe, but that freaks me out. So I know people have been grinding their butts on it. Like,
or stuff.
You know, other stuff. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like not just sitting on it, doing other things to it. You know,
especially with beds.
I won't touch a used bed for a whole host of disgusting reasons, but yeah, I don't buy used couches, man. If I can avoid it, I will. We've had a couple, and if they're really, really, really good condition, I'll do it, but I prefer new couches, new chairs, new beds. But yeah, I mean, the blue couch matches, it should match the house, should be fine. You know, I'll probably get tired of it, and then I can just take it down to the basement. So. Ooh, Frank thinks it's not the bartender's fault. The law disagrees.
The law is dumb. Probably.
Oh, okay. I missed that part, Happy. Sorry. Now, if I go to buy a couch and I'm buying from a woman who happens to be like an 8 to a 10, I might consider taking the couch. Yeah, a used mattress is like a used condom. Plus, you got the skin cells of the person that was sleeping in it in there. You know, mattresses double their weight because of people's skin cells and crap. Going, no way, man. I'm not about that life. Not at all. Every time your phone rings, I think it's my phone because I'm so used to my phone ringing all the time.
My uncle had a bet given to him when he moved from Jamaica and became a pastor in Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
And when he was moving back to Indiana, the people asked for the bed back, and he told his wife to tell them that they had sex on it at least 5 times a week, so they wouldn't have to give it back.
Are you serious? They wanted it back?
No, yeah. Well, they wanted the bed back when he was moving from Arkansas to Indiana. And so he had his wife tell them that they had sex on it at least 5 times a week, so they wouldn't want it back.
Oh, man, that is such an Arkansas story.
Yeah, well, they grew up in southern Indiana.
But why would you want the bed back? Like, I don't. That's the thing that freaks me out.
I agree too. That's kind of weird.
He did them a favor by having her lie to them. I mean, I'm assuming it's a lie, but
let's assume
we can always hope, right? Use my. Excuse me, can I smell your couch? And which spot do you usually sit on?
You sit here. This one, honey, we need a 6x6 cushion to replace this spot.
You can only give away the mattress. You can't sell them. Only the frame. Yeah. I'm kind of with you on that. Funny. All right. You guys, you got about a minute before I bounce out. Do you have any questions, any comments, you let me know. Happy to hang out for a bit. Oh, God. Tomorrow's Friday. It's my early day.
Oh, he apparently it was. He said it sarcastically to his wife.
Oh, she didn't do it.
I don't know if she did or not.
Hey there, Corey. You know what I should do? Just because your name is Corey and everybody calls me Corey, I'm going to start calling you Casey. I get called Corey and Jason all the damn time.
You get called Jason.
I don't know. It happens all the time. Yeah, I'm going to Scotch guard it because it's a microfiber and I effing hate microfiber. That's another thing is I don't like the fabric of the couch. Microfiber is so friggin' dirty. So I'm going to Scotch guard it, seal it all up. You do have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old who can't keep food on their damn plates, so.
That's why you have family dinners at the table.
We try, bro. We try. So, it's my wife really, really wants that. For me, the dining room table was a source of trauma. That was where we went and gathered to fight. That's not where we went to gather to be together as a family. Because we basically spent the whole day avoiding each other. And then all of their shit came to the table, literally, at dinner. So I struggle with dining room table sitting. Plus, I get bored really easily.
Yeah.
And I eat extremely fast.
Same.
So I power through my food, and then I have to sit there and look at everybody else chew. And I get very bored, and I have to leave.
That's what happens when I eat. Every time I go over to my girlfriends, and because they have normal family dinners, like normal people.
Yeah.
So.
Casey, do you have pets? Yes, I have a giant dog and a bird. Well, I guess a fish. But I'm hoping the fish dies soon. Really, the fish is 3 years overdue. It should be dead like a long time ago. Are you serious about the skin cells in the bed adding that much weight? Yes, that is true. Look it up. Google it. Your mattress will double its weight over the life of the mattress, mostly because of skin cells inside the mattress. It's sick as hell. Yeah, man. I eat fast as hell, and my food does not touch my other food. I have a perimeter. There is a security perimeter around each item. Now, foods that are designed to go together can be mixed. But my vegetable does not touch my meat. My meat does not touch my starch. Just doesn't happen. Nope, nope, nope.
Sounds like your wife just keeps switching out the fish when it dies, Casey.
I wouldn't know the difference. I honestly wouldn't know the difference.
Same fish.
We've got this really cool bird. He's got a great personality, but he shits everywhere. Everywhere. It's all over the place. Then you got to run through and you got to clean it up. You got to clean up like 100 shits a day. I mean, it's stupid. Like, you're a tiny little friggin' bird. Stop eating. Just poop. They're like mice. They can't stop themselves. They have like no bowel control. Mice don't have bowel control, by the way. So they just poop. It's like a conveyor belt system. Goes in, comes out. Doesn't stop. It just does what it does. He's a really cool bird, though, and he's got a great personality. Plus, he's an asshole, so I like him.
Wouldn't that be part of the personality?
Yeah. He kicked my dog in the nose the other day. This tiny little bird friggin' harasses my dog. All right, my dog's like 90 pounds. So this bird harasses the dog. He buzzes him, and then the dog almost eats him, and then I have to actually separate him. The dog's great with the bird until the bird pisses him off, and then the dog says, all right, I'm going to kill you. And so then I have to actually calm things down. But occasionally they will actually play with one another. And the dog will lick him. He'll open his mouth and the whole thing. So the bird like landed one day after harassing the dog. Bird walks up to the dog. So like this is the dog knows. Bird walks up and goes, thump. And then like squeezes with his claws. Like, thump, squeezes, and then runs away. And dog's like, what the hell? I said he's an asshole, but he's a cool bird.
Well, let me get out of here.
All right.
Have a good night, Casey.
All right, man. Take care. He's a budgie, which is, I think it's a type of parakeet or something. I don't know. He's blue. All right. I am going to bounce. Video. Oh, the dog? Video of the dog? Is that what you want me to do? The dog and the bird? The dog and the bird. That sounds like a movie. Hopefully next week we'll be able to I'll actually be able to be on Discord on a regular basis again. I just don't burn through the the bird versus dog. I will. I just don't want to burn through the bandwidth and everything else on my my phone. All right, folks, I got to bounce. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget open line stream 5 and 6.